Hey there. Hi, Pat Miller. Hi. Hey, Jeremy. Hey, Jeremy Jawinski. Welcome. First time here. Hi, Ivy Lynn. Welcome. Sonia, LA Lady. Hi, Justin. Hi, Mary Kim. Hey, Mama. Jeremy, are you going to be at trouble here? Hey, Delia. Hey, Dar's Cabins. Hey, Kathy. Hey, Tori. Hey, Sakura Girl. Hey, Danielle. Hey, Peggy. Hey, Anna. How are you doing, Anna? Prayers for you, Anna. And prayers for your friend. Hey, Lisa. Hi, Dars. Hi, Sam. Hi, Steffi. Hi, Raspberry Snowdrop. How are you? Yeah, how did everything go, Peggy? Thank you, Jeremy. How are you? I did $2 stores today. You didn't find the books? You found 10 other good ones? Oh, wow. You should send a picture of what you got so we can live vicariously through you, Ivy. Hi, Peggy Sue got married. Hi, Sonia. Hi, Mandy. Hey, TBT4J. Hi. Hi, Alicia. Hello, Sharon. Hi, Vala. Oh, did you? Thanks, Vala. Hi, Diane. Hi, Tracy. Hi, Kaza. Hi, Carol Clark. Hi, Hennessy. Did it show up? I didn't know that it was going to show up because normally they change Streamlabs. Normally I can type a title in Streamlabs and it doesn't show up. I have to go to YouTube to change it. So I didn't think anything was going to show up, so I just typed anything in there. It really showed up. That's too funny. That's too funny. So at least they changed, because they're changing Streamlabs a lot. So apparently now I can change it in there and not have to go through that YouTube crap. Okay, but I have to change the thumbnails in there. Anyway, I can just change it to a generic one and then change it to that one later. Hi, Karen. Hi, Baby Doe. Hi, Lisa H. Hi, Earthbound Spirit. Hi, Mama T. Oh, you're welcome. You like the word salad? You adopted a cross-eyed Siamese cat, so he's cuddled up. Oh, that sounds lovely, Alicia. Hi, Two Scooter. Hi, Helen. Oh, you just started to watch the word salad? Hi, Tori. You had a rough day? Started to clean your mom's house? Oh, yeah, that's tough, huh? It is, Tori. Sorry to hear that, and sorry about your mom. I know how that is. It's tough. Hi, Diana. Hi, Wildlife. Hi, you go, girl. Hey, Jessica. My internet is out, so I'm going to say hi to everyone right now because I'm on my cell and it's super hard to tag individual people. Okay. Why's your internet out? You're having storms or something? Hi, Leisha. Hi, Mystery Truth Seeker. Who else didn't I get there? So, hey, Peggy. Jury selection should last another 2, maybe 3 days. Sometimes they can do it on the second day, so we just have to wait and see. No, because your internet is stupid. You sound like Ethan. Our internet is stupid. My hair looks marvelous. I didn't even do anything. I just brushed it and then like took 2 seconds with my curling iron. Hey, Alma. Hi, Mandy. Hi, Flower Girl. What else did I miss? So what do you do? I want to ask you guys something. What do you do when your kid deals with a, hey, Sakura, a bully in school? Let's say that's bigger than your kid, a grade older than your kid, that's like slapping your kid, punching your kid, pushing your kid into a wall, trying to do it like in a jokey manner, but it's not jokey, they're a bully. What do you tell your kid to do in that instance? You tell the kid to punch him in the nose? What do you tell him to do there? Because I'll tell you, you had this issue years ago at a core? Depends on the kid. You tell the principal, okay, sure, yes, I am calling the principal tomorrow. But hit them back. Jimmy says to Ethan, if that kid touches you again, you punch him in the nose, and then you run. Just get the hell away from him. Let him know you're not going to take any crap from him. And then Ethan says, oh, but then we'll get in-school suspension. And Jimmy says, I don't care if you get in-school suspension. I'll tell the principal, if that kid hits you again, you're hitting him back. And my sons say the same thing. My older sons say the same thing. They say, once you take crap, don't you dare take crap from him. Punch him right in the nose. And, but no, because Ethan is fast. Ethan is fast. Ethan can run faster than this kid. And Jimmy showed him how to hit him. And so, like, get him down and do what he's not doing. So, your dad tell you that's what ball bats are for. But I am going to call the principal tomorrow, and I'm going to tell him first thing that this kid is doing what this is doing to him, what he's doing to him. And if they don't get on top of this and he touches my son again, that my son is going to fight back. Well, Alma, what he means is punch him, whatever, get him down, but don't just stay there for him to get out, you know what I mean? Just get the heck out of there. That's Alicia, that's what my sons say. They say if Ethan doesn't do anything, this kid is just going to keep picking and picking and picking and picking. But if he shows him, look, I'm not taking any of your crap. You're kidding? I know. Isn't it horrible, Julie? If they hit you, hit them back harder. Yeah, Alethea, yeah. Because he's hit him, he's like kneed him down there. He's pushed him into a wall. He slapped him in the face. He's went up under his chin, like, and just goes like, just. But I am going to call the principal in the morning and tell him. My mom used to tell me to do that. Dad would rather go to the headmaster. Eventually, I took Mom's advice. I was never bothered again. Yeah, I am going to call the school tomorrow in the morning. I really hate them too. Bullies. That word salad was just... Oh, okay, Damon. We'll see you later, Damon. I know which. Does your name begin with a B or a J? I bet you it does. See you later. See, as a teacher, my opinion is to call Mom. Well, we have one bully that the mother, everybody knows. We have to, and it's not even that bully that's doing it. There's just one bully in school. He's an only child. Every mother knows. Every mother knows not to even call her because her son can do no wrong. And the school knows it. It's so crazy. And every teacher knows it. It's bizarre. But that's not even the one that's bothering him. We dealt with that one last year, and that's not the one that's bothering him. This is somebody new. Yeah, Alicia, she absolutely is. What's common that the mothers don't, that the mother's name, not mine, no, don't talk to me. Yeah, like Cindy Watts, right? Not my kid. My kid didn't do it. I would call, like you said, demands. Yeah, I'm going to tell them. I'm going to say, look, because Ethan told me when it's happening. I'm going to tell them when it's happening. I'm going to say, you better either, find out when my son is in these places, and you can police it yourself. But if he hits my son again, my son is hitting him back. I know, Alicia. It's supposed to be a zero tolerance on this in the school. Zero. And so, yeah, right? Like a Hand that rocks the cradle one, right? Which one is it? Which one is it? That one? As a parent, you want to do that sometimes, don't you? You touch my son again, I'm gonna rip you. Okay. Did he know? I mean, he's got two older brothers. He know and Jimmy, and he knows how to fight back. Right? Isn't it? Which one is it? You stay right here. The school counselor help for you, Raspberry? Okay, Pat, thanks. I love that scene because every mother feels like doing that at one point or another, right? Our school has a 0 tolerance, but they don't do much. My 9-year-old is being bullied and he has epilepsy. School, that's terrible, Alicia. Hi. Oh, there's Alma. If Ethan defends himself, other kids won't touch him. Yeah, that's what my boys are saying. At least all 3 of my older boys, including Jimmy. You've been looking and looking, Mickey fan? I'm here. I'm right here, looking back at you. Right at you. Your husband, rather? It's kind of a conflict because my son teaches in the same... Oh, I see. Oh, yeah, we've got to have our share of them, TPT. There's a little bit of an agenda, if you can imagine, that I'm trying to be grouped in with Chris Watts fans. So, it's probably what it's from, but the truth will come out. I'm not worried. My son had the issue. My husband taught at the school. Oh, I see. Yeah. Thankfully, when Jimmy taught, it wasn't at that school, but yeah, it's crazy. Oh, Ethan, I wish the schools would do more. And yeah, they do, see, Deb, they do have all that. It's just that, I don't know, there's just some kids it doesn't reach, I guess. I don't know. And then they turn out to be the YouTube bullies. I don't know. I mean, it's crazy. The truth always comes out. Look forward to it. I know. That happened when your son was little. He finally hit back, and it's like it shocks some sense. It does. See, that's what they tell me, that it'll shock. Like my son's like, if he doesn't do anything, he'll forever be picked on. If he does something, they'll say, "Wow, I'm not going to mess with that kid," because they don't want to mess with somebody that fights back. We had a school counselor that was the head of the kids that was supposed to be a role model. Yeah, I know, right? I know, Wildlife. It's crazy. It's a crazy situation. You always stood up for the ones being bullied? Yeah, I know. It's... So, Frazee, like I said, maybe we might see, who knows, if they start to get, if they get that jury together tomorrow, which they did. Didn't they get the jury together really quick in the Tim Jones case? And they thought it was going to take a long time, but by the second day, I think it was together. If they get that, we might see opening statements by the end of the week. I don't know. And Lisa, you wanted to do call me tomorrow. Did I send you I'll send you my number again. Just call me so we can do the Amityville. I think she wants to do Amityville the day before Halloween. And then Friday we have the cake. Friday we have the cake making. Maybe we should just turn that into cake making and a party. I don't know. being that we're baking cake. I don't know. Yeah, the apple cake that Kristen is coming on to teach us to make. Or you want to make it? Let me know if you want to make it. I'll get you we're all making it. At what time did she say? 7 o'clock on Friday? Your granddaughter just started kindergarten and was asking my daughter to give her extra snacks. Oh my gosh. And they wanted to give her and she wanted to give her snacks so she would be nice. Yeah, right? I know. When you see your kids, Oh, thanks, Michaela. Hi, Debbie, Sea Survivor. Let's see. I truly think you should visit. They made. Oh, they take me seriously. Did I tell you guys the other day that I called? Oh my gosh. What did I call the other day on? It wasn't the other day. It was like the other week. They take me seriously. Yeah. Yeah, I'm no nonsense when I call, because I think I'm saying, like, this is not my first rodeo. This is my second go around with my kids in school. The first time, you bring your kids in, you're more naive, you're more, you don't want to make weight. But now you get a seasoned mom. I don't play games. Sure, send in your pictures for Halloween. Yeah, I told Angela Colley, you can, yeah. You know the ropes, right? And you're like, hey, this is not going to fly anymore. Hi, Jeanette. Yeah, prayers for Anna and her friend Ragna, who passed away. But anyway, so I don't understand. You're always going to have bullies, Lisa. I guess it's just human nature. But hey, MC, you won the journal. I need your address. Please send me your address so I can get rid of this journal next to me. And then Wildlife, talk to me about what you want. You want me to make you a Rambler decal with your state? Tell me again. I always forget. Now, I think Kansas, right? Is it Kansas? Oh, you did? Send it to me again. Did you send it to the truecrimechat.org, not com.org? Just send it again, please. Thank you. Your son was hit by 3 boys. He got away. The next day he walked to school waiting for the boys to attack. I said, which one is first? It is 1-on-1. They never did it again. Yeah, that I know, Linda, right? See, it doesn't usually happen again. If you fight back, if you don't, it keeps going. Taking forever, Nana? You can't seem to type? Oh, no. So, Sorry said she wanted to come on and talk about that case, but I don't see her here now. I know she just commented on the word salad, but she did fall asleep last night, so she might have fallen asleep again because she has to get up at 5 in the morning. But we will have her on. Maybe the night we do the cake, Sorry, if you're listening, you could come on maybe during the time it's baking or something. It will be early that night if that's early for you, and I'm sure we'll be, later as well, how we always are. Maybe you can come on and talk about it then. And Lisa, yeah, just let me know. I thought I gave you, I'll give you my number again. Does anybody want to come in and talk about a case or anything that we talked about last night? Oh, buffered? Oh, are you, I wonder if it's, no, it can't be Streamlabs. Seconds only? It might be, maybe the world is ending. I don't know. Sharon said her internet is out. Oh, there's Shari. Shari, you want to call in now and talk about that case? Do you want to talk about it? The bullies grow up. Most continue to bully. Yeah. So you're buffering a few seconds. But it buffers in Europe the same time. The world ending. Am I blurry? I shouldn't be blurry. Maybe it's, I don't know. The world's ending. Hope not. Not now. You watch that whole case? It's so interesting. How would you know? You mean you went to leave a comment, Peggy Sue? I have no idea. Did you ever leave a comment there before? Okay, this I believe is a faker. Yeah, that's a fake sunflower brown, so we can get rid of that sunflower brown. Okay. Did we get rid of the fake sunflower? Oh, good. Oh, Kayla, I didn't even notice because normally you can't change the title in Streamlabs. You have to go to YouTube, so I just put that in for fun because it never changes it, and someone said it is. Of course, it's a fake. No, Karen, well, no. She's saying it's me, not someone about me. It's from there. It's from that channel. Okay, Sarah, send me a, let me see here. Shoot me an email and I'll get you the number. Ninja Nikki, we are going to discuss the case we just talked about last night with Pam Hupp and Faria, Betsy Faria. Sari's going to come on and talk about Betsy Faria. She is a horrible person. Who are we talking about, Peggy? Oh, I know that, are you talking about the bed channel? The channel with the bed? I know exactly who she is. And so do a lot of other people. She's trying to pretend I'm a Watts supporter. Yeah. So, that's okay. Truth will come out. I'm not worried about it. Okay, let me get, sorry, the number. Just get ready. We're going to have a lot of fake profiles and people in here because they're desperate. Okay, sorry, I'm making my way over there. My Gmail is being silly. But I'll let you know how it goes tomorrow with Ethan. Should be fun. I had to do it last year, and then it stopped. Like I told the principal last year, it was in the other. I said the exact same thing. I said, if he touches my son again, my husband and I said he could hit him, and I said, you know, and it doesn't matter. You know, if you whatever where and he was like, well, I hope it doesn't come to that or something. But it didn't. Then once I told them that, they either policed the situation but it never happened again. So we'll see what happens with this time. Shari, I sent you the number. Oh, you've got Frazee updates? Sure. You've got Frazee updates too? Sure, I just sent you the number. Okay, I love some Frazee updates. Isn't it terrible that they're not putting the cameras or that's just, I want to see Crystal Kenny testify. How can they do that to us? It's not right. Okay, let me come back. I'm so upset about that because I want to see her testify. I'm going to be doing more internet. It's just that I was crazy busy today, and then I was like really, it was cold and yucky here, even though it was like not raining for once. I just had like a cold, yucky, you know, like one of those days where you're just like not feeling like I just couldn't get myself to make a Watts video, but I made the word salad one. I will finish the Watts. I promise. You've been out of town, out of core? I know, Val. It's I want to. I don't know why. It's not my little exactly wildlife. Yeah. And I just sent you a number, TP. Jay. I'm trying to catch up with chat here. Being with a narcissist makes you question your own sanity. Yes, it does. That's what the gaslighting is. Yeah. To see if I'm okay, Nikki? Why wouldn't I be okay? Are you froze? Dar's cabin? You had one of those days too? Just gotta let it happen. Yeah, I was like, I I took like just laid on the couch a little bit, and while we watched some TV, and I just kind of had a lazy, and then I made the word salad one, and I said I'll get to the others tomorrow. It's kind of a weird week with Halloween and stuff, and then we have he does word salad to prove he's smarter than anyone. They have a whole new court channel going on. This 196 girl took the stand today. She killed her boyfriend. Oh my gosh, where, Linda? Where did that case? Oh, yeah, Nikki, I know, but it's by small people that are just trying to be relevant by attacking a larger channel. That's all. The truth will come out, and they'll be the ones that suffer. Loved your salad program. You're welcome, Dar's Cabin. Pat Miller 7. That's not our normal Pat. That's not. I think is someone copying Pat Miller and trying. What's up with that? It'd be nice to rest and reset, yeah. Oh, you came later to it? Yeah, I just really want to see Crystal Kenny testify. Hey there, High 61, how you doing? Yeah. Lots of slack in the rope. Not too much. Hey, Boxer Rescue. I know, Lisa, right? Hey, Carla, how are you? They were a drug and drinking family. I just quit putting yard ornaments out. Oh, they stole your stuff? Hey, Kathy from Texas, how are you? Hey, wake up. I know I saw you before, but I don't know if I said hello. To go see, yeah. Do we have any ramblers in Cripple Creek? I've asked that a couple of times, Karen, but I don't get anybody to really take us up on it. Hey there.
Hi.
Hi.
How are you?
Good. How are you?
Doing well. How are you? Are we on live or?
Yeah, we are. Now is this Shari?
This is Deb.
Deb. Okay, because I couldn't tell which one it was. Okay, so you have the Frazee updates.
Yes.
Oh, good.
Just quick, do you guys have time? Thanks for having me.
You're well, thanks for giving us the updates.
Thanks. Can I just say that your your show tonight on the narcissistic personality disorder was so helpful. Thank you so much for that.
Oh, you're welcome.
Yeah, it's just so awful how people can be. And I just want to say I've tried so hard to make amends and try to be the better person, you know.
But you can't. You can't, though. You can't even say, look, if this ends, I'll just apologize. I don't care. I'm not wrong, but I'll apologize. If this ends, it doesn't end. It doesn't ever. They want to keep it going. That's what people have to understand. It never ends. Never ends.
So sad, so sad. But thank you. It was very informative, and I appreciate it a lot. I know a lot of us do.
Right. Thank you.
Very good. So with the Frazee case, as you all know, they're having the jury selection this week, and they anticipate to have it done by Friday, to have opening arguments to start Friday.
Oh, okay.
Excuse me.
God bless you.
And what's interesting, so what I thought is, you know, it's a small town, so it should be really easy to figure out who's who. But then again, on the flip side, it's a small town and everyone kind of knows each other. So then it's hard to pick people who aren't connected somehow. So it's kind of up in the air if they're going to be able to finish it this week or in time. But next week for sure.
Okay, and do you know anybody that's in the courthouse?
I'll be in the courthouse.
Oh, are
every
you?
day.
Oh, wow.
Yes,
Oh,
I'll be there.
wow.
Yes.
Wow, will you give us
Yes,
updates? Will you give updates?
Absolutely.
Oh,
Would be more than
wonderful.
happy to. We're trying to get other members within the group to come too, anyone who's local, to to pay support for Kelsey and her family.
Sure,
But I'll
sure.
be there and would be happy to give you guys updates.
Oh, good. I didn't know you lived that close. Okay, great. I didn't know. I know you live in Colorado, but I didn't know you lived that how far is it for you?
It's about an hour drive. Well, to the courthouse,
Mhm.
it's an hour and a half, and to her house, it's about 45 minutes to an hour. Maybe not even that. Closer than that, but not too far. I'm in the Springs, and then they're just up in Woodland Park, and then you keep going on up to Cripple Creek, and that windy road, scary road with the snow.
Yeah, right? That's what scary road.
Yeah, we have snowmageddon today.
Do
Or
you?
last night, overnight, almost 12 inches.
No.
Unbelievable.
Really?
And overnight, yeah.
Oh my
And we're
gosh.
supposed to get more tomorrow, so.
And so you mean you think the kids will have to trick or treat in snow? Is it normal to have that much snow around Halloween?
There was snow here last year, so I think so.
Really?
Um,
Wow.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Yeah, that's
I know one time we had a
interesting.
nor'easter and it dumped like snow before Halloween, but then it was like all gone the next day. Never had snow
Yeah.
on Halloween, knock on wood. But that's, yeah. Colorado's
Oh my
weird.
goodness.
because-
Colorado is crazy.
Yeah.
There's no spring whatsoever. It just, and then summer is so short. We had snow at the beginning of summer this year. And we're kind of new to Colorado Springs. It's just been a couple years now. But freaky, crazy bipolar weather. I just can't get my head
because
around
I swear
it.
somebody said it was like 80, like not long ago there, and now it's like, and you've got all this snow now. That's just crazy.
I know.
Yeah, wow.
I know.
So I'd love to see.
So
Do your do you have like pictures of your? Oh, you just moved there, so you probably don't have. I'd love to see like pictures of the kids trick or treating with like 18 inches of snow.
It's going to be hilarious. So my daughter's going to be a Visco girl. Do you know what that is?
With is she a disco girl? Not the 50s. My daughter was a 50s girl with the poodle skirt, but what's the disco girl, like the 80s?
The Visco girls are something that's going on now. I had to Google it, but apparently it's a big thing. And I would be surprised if anybody does know, but if you do know, then you must have a daughter that's a preteen.
Oh.
But
Okay.
and then my son will be a dachshund, a miniature dachshund. So we'll be doing all that in the snow.
Oh, okay, cute. Yeah, I know. I mean, it's normally sometimes it can be very cold here, so like the kids would have like a winter coat on or something, like with their costumes, and it's like you could never wear like those little mermaid things, sleeveless, never.
No, I know. So we probably spent $40 on a miniature dachshund costume for my son, who will likely be bundled up, and you won't even get to see it. So
Right, yeah, it's either
Just
like
the
you get
way
a
it
costume that they can be bundled up in under them, or yes, or something. Yeah, it's crazy, but what are you gonna do, right?
right. So tell me, this is going to be our first year that we're actually going to trick or treat in a different neighborhood. Our neighborhood is just not on the up and up. They're not that cool. We have one lady next door who does treat bags for everyone, and she'll deliver it to the door, but no one else really gives out candy or trick or treats here.
Really?
So we're going to go to, yeah, it was really lame last year. We had all this leftover candy that my daughter hid in her desk drawer, and she ate for like over a couple months because none of the kids came. So we're not even going to give out candy. We're going to go to a nearby neighborhood where we heard they give out candy bars, whole candy bars.
Yeah, that's what
Very
we have to
excited.
go to a neighborhood too, because like nobody is here. We just don't have anybody like here.
Yeah. So it'll be fun. Well, you guys stay warm, but ask me questions about the case. I'm happy to answer if anyone has
Okay,
any
let me ask them
questions.
if they have any questions. Anybody have any questions about the Kelsey Barrett case for Deb? Let's see. Give them a second to type them in. I do.
Well, in the meantime, I'll just say that it seems as though the prosecution is really sticking to KK's testimony, basically 100%. And she's their star witness. And unfortunately, because of that and other information that's come in, as far as searching other places that, for example, where Kelsey Vera's decomposition was hit on by cadaver dogs, that's the Dave Nash Ranch. That's where Patrick Frazee worked. That's where his cell phones pinged the 24th when the nurse, Crystal Kinney, came out to help dispose of the body and clean up this mess. So we want to have that area be searched, but it appears that it would undermine Crystal and her testimony. So we'll see if it'll be searched eventually, but right now it's looking as though she is their star witness, and they really need to stick to her testimony. And I don't blame them, because so far a lot of her testimony has aligned with the facts and the evidence in the case. But we just do not want her to get off. 6 months is not enough time. And then there's these other individuals who helped make this case happen, who planned and came along to attempt to kill Kelsey on several occasions. There's those individuals that did that and also helped to cover up and conceal the crime. Those individuals will likely be witnesses. We're not sure on what side, but chances are that they got a deal. And we're just heartbroken about that if that happens, because they should be charged as well.
Right. And you know what else I'm thinking? Did they ever get CCTV of Kelsey going in Crystal going in a Starbucks and ordering that coffee?
I'm not sure if there is CCTV about that or of that. I haven't seen it. I wouldn't be surprised if they've gotten some type of testimony or documentation of it. But she admitted to being there, so it would be easy to go back and track. There's the Sonic video, though. Did you see that?
At the beginning. At the Conoco, you said? With the
Sonic,
truck?
the Sonic drive-through.
Oh, the Sonic,
the
yes. And then there was
Mm-hmm.
also, they went through some, was it a Conoco where they went through with the truck? Remember, both of them afterwards didn't her and Patrick go in the same truck in a gas station?
Yes, they were at the gas station getting the gas.
Right.
You're correct. I haven't seen it, but it's out there.
Right. And, I just wonder, because I just don't buy that story. I'm sorry that she came down 3 separate times from Idaho. It just, something's wacky with that, because she had 3 kids in Idaho, right? And she's going to come down just like that, just, and then not go through with something, then come down again. And then he's going to call her when she was supposedly in Vegas or something, that you've got a mess to clean up.
Yes.
Something
and
is just
Carolyn,
so weird.
You have to remember, she was pretty much living at friends' houses, sleeping on their couches, already divorced from her husband. The children are with him, and she was living at the home with him, divorced, which is really interesting. But then around this time is when she was staying from friend to friend's house, and the kids were usually with the father. So she had the freedom to go back and forth, and she did. She admitted to it, and then there's others that corroborated the story of saying that they came along, they went along for the ride, literally drove 800 miles each way to drive to that Starbucks to deliver that poison coffee, then turned around and drove straight back.
I know, right?
That's a lot of miles.
Oh, yeah, right?
I mean, that's a lot of miles. It takes a lot for me to do that, to go see my parents,
Yeah, I know, right? It's
to go
a lot.
deliver a coffee, that's insane.
That's what I'm saying. There's something so messed up in all of that, and it's just I don't know. And then did they ever find, because somebody asked, his DNA, was it found in that apartment?
Well, it should be in the apartment. It would not be a surprise if it's in the apartment. But what is shocking and interesting, and we don't have the information on it, it will come out in trial, is that there is an unknown female DNA and an unknown male DNA. Now, does that mean that that's DNA from the crime? Not necessarily. She could have had some friends from church over. You know, other people could have gone to her house, but it does throw a wrench into the case, into the investigation. It gives an out.
Right, right. And he's going to go just blaming her, and
He's been very, very quiet. But yes, it seems as though, well, he didn't have to point the finger at her because she pretty much inserted herself, you know,
But who was he
just
going
by
to
her
say did it,
testimony.
though? But who
Yeah.
was, you know,
But he's going to say it was her. And it was something to do, did you hear about that there was a possible hitman that was coordinated or spoke about at the ski
early
resort?
on in September, I think, right? That he was looking to hire?
What do you think about that? Was that him? Who was doing that? I don't have that. I don't know who did that.
Yeah.
Who brought that into the case? Was that the prosecution or the defense? I haven't figured that out yet.
I don't know. This case is so, it's just so weird. And then you've got like they made it sound like his mother even knew about this. And, you know, I don't know. There's still, now Kelsey's parents still have Kaylee, right? Kaylee?
Yes,
they still have the
thank
baby.
goodness.
And
That's the only joy about this case is that she is safe and sound with her family.
Okay. And is her mother going to be at the trial?
I expect so. We do expect that. The family.
Okay. I wonder, does Patrick's mother have any visitation of the baby?
Pardon me?
Does Patrick's mother have any visitation of the child?
We don't know that, but that is a great question. I would think not. I mean, it would be because her parents have the custody, so it would be up to them to decide who gets to visit her. And I believe that if Sheila Ma Frazee, Patrick Frazee's mother, wanted to see Kaylee, she would have to file a petition for visitation herself. And we don't know what proceedings are going on because it's all behind closed doors, but we haven't seen anything.
Now, what did they say with, they said they can't bring his past animal abuse into the court, right? Into the trial. But they can bring
Isn't that a shame?
Yeah, I know. But they can bring the DSS, the social services, what happened in the hospital, right? They said that can go in.
No, that's not going to be admitted either. No.
Wow, really?
No, but I believe that her testimony as to Kelsey and what he spoke to the representative or the representative of the Health and Family Services will be admitted. So that will be allowed, and that's interesting too because he speaks of Kelsey having a addiction problem
And being abusive.
We weren't sure if it was drinking. Yes, but she was in a rehab, and the truth is that he's lying. She went for sleep and anxiety. And can you imagine how much anxiety she must have been under, being that all these individuals had tried and were conspiring to kill her, and you know something's up, right? And then the mental abuse and just all the problems that her friends have come out to talk about. Poor Kelsey. So that is going to be allowed, and I'm glad for that. But
I can't believe they wouldn't put the one in the hospital, like, because that's really telling. It shows his anger issues.
Right. Doesn't it make sense if it is a reported case by the agency that should be allowed because it's a legitimate case? They would not let the baby go home until they ruled that it was safe for them to go home.
Yeah. How could they say that's ridiculous?
Documented. Yeah.
That's ridiculous. In the hospital, Alicia, Patrick got really upset about what was it that he got upset about? Do you remember what it was?
The baby needed special attention. She needed to go to the NICU for observation, and he was adamant that Kaylee needed to be with them. for bonding purposes, and he just lost it.
And he started screaming and cursing the nurses out and
He
stuff.
would,
And
yeah,
yeah,
he went off on the nurse. And then, you know, a year later, they're at a birthday party, Kaylee's birthday party, and he's talking to everyone about that episode, and he's saying, I should have killed that nurse.
yeah.
That testimony is not going to be allowed in either, by the way.
That's crazy. That is so crazy. How does that not speak to his character?
Right? Unbelievable.
That's
It's going to be
crazy.
an interesting case. It's going to be heart-wrenching, and it's going to be a difficult case to try.
Yeah, yeah. It's what is your thought? I mean, do you think you have any thoughts on without having the body, like it?
Right. No body, no murder weapon.
Right.
I think that there's already tangible evidence that shows that there was solicitation, so he's not going to be able to get away with that.
Mm-hmm.
He might be able to wiggle and finagle his way out of the murder conviction, but I don't see him getting away with the whole thing. They'll be charged for solicitation, I think, in my opinion, personal opinion. Don't you agree?
Yeah, I mean, solicitation, they should be able to get that, no problem. But yeah, because I think it's on it, like they have it on his phone, but now they have the phones, like they have him there through like the phones traveling, right? His with Kelsey at the townhouse, and then traveling back to the ranch together. But then, yeah, they could say, well, how do we know that was, you know, there's always going to be that reasonable doubt maybe that they're going to cast in there. I just can't believe in those townhomes no one had cameras, you know, somewhere that...
There were cameras next door, and what's interesting, Carolyn, is that those cell phone pings are going to be riveting information. Those experts, when they come in, that's when I'm going to be really paying attention, because the cell phone pings so far, just in what they provided in the docu-dump and the warrants, we traveled them. We followed those pings, and we went to those places, and we photographed what was around. And it gave us a great idea of where he was in the past and what he was doing during those times. But his cell phone pinged him going back and forth to the townhouse that day. And that was neighbors was able to get a GIF image of him going in and out. And then there was a furniture store down the corner that to get to her house, you pass it. They caught him coming back and forth. But what's interesting is that he only admitted and testified, not necessarily testified, but he only admitted to police officers that he went to pick up Kaylee, simply picked her up in the driveway, and left and never came back. He kind of screwed himself in that aspect, because there is the cell phone pings that trace him coming back and forth, and then there's the video footage and the surveillance videos that also captures him. So he's not going to be able to get away with that lie.
Right,
I don't think.
I don't know. It's just like, you know, you see some things and you're like, they make you go crazy, like, right? You know, OJ in the glove, right? It's like, come on. But,
Scary, yes.
you know, you don't know. I mean, you say it's like not a case I feel comfortable with. And it's scary because, like, what's going to happen? But I just think, like, just so those you just like, oh my gosh, those townhouses were so, like, you just think there would have been so many more people that saw it, right? Because it wasn't a remote area. And that somebody would just come out of the woodwork and say, wait a minute, I was flying my drone up there and I never looked at this chip. Can you imagine, right? If somebody would have something like that. I always think, like, in this day and age, that's so possible. You know?
We don't know, though, Carolyn. There is 255 witness testimonies so far that we've heard about. We haven't heard about the testimony, but we heard that there's that many witnesses. People probably have come forward and have spoken up. But what's even more scary is that those individuals that helped all this to take place are still walking free, and they might never see any justice because of their testimony or whatever. It's scary that people can come together and, you know, use this internet, which is another scary subject. It's so great that it brings all of us together, caring hearts, to care about these cases and to advocate for these victims. But on the flip side, there's people using the internet to conspire to murder an individual and get away with it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Just
absolutely.
not even a slap on the wrist.
Yeah, and like those lawyers, like that she told, and you know, like so many people didn't do or say anything for so long that could have, you know, done something. You know, I mean, just her friends knew. Now, did she ever have a baby? Because that, I mean, someone said she was pregnant. Someone said some people say she had the baby. Someone say it's Patrick's. Did you hear anything about Crystal and a baby?
We heard about that, but we didn't find any evidence to prove it. I don't believe she was pregnant. We would have heard something. Someone would have said something, but we don't know.
Yeah, it did look in court like she was trying to hide something, like with the sweater, and I mean, it did look like it, and then somebody that was usually pretty spot on kept saying, "No, trust me, she's pregnant. Trust me, she's pregnant." You know, so it was weird. And now even today, I mean, I checked something and someone said like no, and then another person said no, she had the baby. She had the baby a few weeks after, you know, so I think like during the summer or something, but yeah, I don't know.
Very convincing. Yeah, she looks like she was covered. I mean, she was holding on to that jacket, it seemed like, and pushed up against the podium, you know, hiding that belly.
Right, yeah, it did seem like that. I know, right? It did seem like that. So I don't know, but I'm sure it'll come out if it is. It's going to be.
Yes, but you know, he's probably going to testify, or he's not going to testify, but his lawyers are going to say that they weren't in a sexual relationship. But I found it really interesting today that there was media that called it a sexual relationship, and that was for the first time. Everyone's been very careful not to identify that the relationship and what type of relationship it is, and but media is out saying sexual relationship, so she could have been pregnant.
Right. And do you know what's going on with their ranch and the dog? Like, is the mother still running that? And they raised those border collies, right? Didn't they?
Yeah, I know. Bo came and picked up all the dogs. His friend Bo came and picked up the dogs, and that's a whole nother. We'd have to have another talk about that.
And he's got a brother too that he's estranged from, right? That's in law enforcement. He's kind of estranged from him, right?
Estranged from him, which is really interesting because he kind of got Patrick's back when he spoke to investigators, when he said, when they asked him what time did he get home that day, it was Thanksgiving, what time did he get back to his mother's house for Thanksgiving dinner? And he just simply said, I got here around 2 something, and he showed up sometime after. It was very vague.
Right, right. And he said, and about her teeth, right? Her teeth were definitely found at his ranch.
There were teeth found at the ranch. There were molars and envelopes and little drawers and things like that. But nothing is out there that says that those were Kelsey's. I think maybe, I'm thinking my personal opinion is that they are, you know, a mom will keep the molars of the teeth of her children.
Right.
Maybe that's what it is. But there is that tooth fragment that they did the special testing on. And they've been very, very quiet about that. That was the consumptive testing. That's when they have to do a special testing because the teeth is so small. And in that, a lot of times it can be destroyed. So there's a lot of, you know, back and forth about that. But and it was in the news everywhere, but the results have been hush-hush. So I'd like to think, I'm hoping that is Kelsey's. I hate to say it, it makes me sick to think of it.
Yeah.
But I hope that evidence helps the prosecution.
Yeah, it'll be like the gas can in the Arias case, right? Or something like that. But yeah, they held off. And he has public defenders, right? He doesn't have a dream team, right?
No, he had private attorneys, and then he went on and did the public defender thing. So he qualified for it, which was interesting because there was a lot of people that thought this had to do with money and life insurance or a trust inheritance from his father, which may come out because there was a lot of talk behind closed doors about that. But somehow he hasn't received that money yet because he qualified for the public defender. So we'll see how that works.
So I mean, it's just so aggravating that, because I just was saying, like, I can't wait to see, and I'm like, no, I can't see this because there's going to be no cameras. Because that's one case I just want to see, like, what his face would look like when she's testified. I just want to see that. I just can't believe we can't see it.
I know. Isn't it that so awful that one guy ruined it for everyone?
It's just crazy. Like, I mean, I don't know. I mean, it just seems like, I don't know. It just is such a letdown. And then at least if they said, like, we're going to have someone tape it and you can see it, like, after the trial. Like, even I'll see it, like, after it. I just, but it's like, come on.
No, you can't do that. And that should be reported because that's not right.
Yeah, I mean, it's just...
Yeah, I've heard that too.
But...
If you guys see that going on and people talking about going in to record or sneaking in...
No, I don't mean sneaking in. I mean, like, if the judge said we have, like, one person that's going to do it, so we make sure, like, no jury, we're going to, and then we'll release it afterwards, I would take that too. I would, it's just, like, let us have something to go back and look at, but I don't know. I mean, it's ridiculous that they won't let us see any of it.
You guys can rely on KOAA News 5 and NBC for updates. They'll be there getting great updates. They've been following the case, and they've said they will follow this case to the end. They're there for Kelsey, so
okay,
we'll have to get it that way.
Yeah, well, we'll get it through you, and we appreciate you, going there. And we all want justice for Kelsey, and so we
Thank you.
Hope that it comes, right?
Yeah, we just hope and pray for the best. And I'll tell you, I've sat in that courtroom with him, and you're wondering what he looks like in his expressions, and he is blank. Blank, just stare straight ahead. The only time I've ever seen him perk up or pay attention was when the DHS testimony, the lady that he met with in the jail, that will be allowed. When she was on stand, he was watching her, and he was watching the district attorney, Dan May, like a hawk, and taking notes and talking to his attorney. That was the first time and only time I've seen him do anything. Otherwise, he's just staring out into an abyss. It's really sad.
Yeah, that's what he seems like. I mean, I guess maybe with the discovery they'll release his interrogation, but he probably just sat there and said nothing anyway, right? So it's just like nothing to say, right? I mean, yeah, he's something else.
There's evidence that they obtained, and there was evidence that had been obtained. I don't see how it hasn't happened already, so perhaps that's what's going on. My guess.
Yeah, I don't know. I still have the feeling like that she could have been the one that did it. And then they mentioned that she had her aunt who was like close to her in age or something that come down one time when either they were going to do the lead pipe or I forget which time it was. I have to refresh myself with the case, but there was one time when her aunt came down with her. Like, why would her aunt, you know what I mean? Why would you take your aunt down? Like, it's something like that. It doesn't make sense.
You know, can I just be wild on a theory idea with you?
Yeah.
There's nothing that proves this at all, but it makes me wonder about this deal to kill Kelsey and how everyone, all these people, Patrick Frazee team, Crystal Kinney team, and how she had so many people, family, friends, knowing and helping with this. It leads me to think that maybe Patrick, this is a guess, guys, I'm not saying anything.
Right,
but
yeah.
Maybe she and Patrick had this deal that she helps with killing Kelsey, and then he'll in return help kill
her husband.
Her husband, yes. Because why did the gun end up in Idaho? Why was the gun in Idaho?
Yeah.
Why was Kelsey's gun found there? It just makes my mind go.
Yeah, I know. It's a weird case. It's like just 3 times the people she traveled with, and then him calling her if he really did it, that she had to come clean it up. You know, she had a mess to clean up. Why would it be her mess, right?
Yeah, and why would her family and friends help? Maybe because they hated her husband too, and they wanted to get rid of him also. You know,
Right.
I
And
don't know.
just something
I don't.
about, like, my husband buys that, he goes like this, oh, that poor girl, what he did to her, he made her put the sweater on and sniffing the candles. And I said, Jimmy, I just don't buy that. I don't think.
Me either.
Yeah, I said, and see, my
Me either.
husband believes it, like, and he's like, and then he hit her with the bat. I'm like, I don't think it happened that way. I think he's lying, okay? Because I can't even imagine that. Like, put a sweater on your head and you sniff some candles. He just, first of all, he doesn't even seem the kind of guy that would do something like that, right?
Right. Well, I mean, I'm sure they talked about it. It sounds like a great idea coming from another woman
Yeah.
to say that's what you should do. That would get her. But I don't. If you pay attention to the cell phone pinging and the timeline of the video cameras, I don't believe he had time to do all of that because it seems as though he was there. He was there at the townhouse a minute before she was. So and there's evidence of him going into the house. He was in there. All it took was for him to just go in with a weapon and wait for her. And the minute that she put the baby down and the groceries on the counter where they were still left, and call her into a room and whack her. And then he left quickly to go get on camera at Walmart. Did you ever see the security camera at
Oh,
Walmart?
yeah, when he's in the baby
Isn't
section.
that crazy?
Yeah.
He could see himself. He knew he was on camera right there. He was watching himself.
But
And he bought baby formula, and
He
she
did.
wasn't on baby formula. And it was never even used. They found it later with the receipt, open, unused.
Right, and she had made the cinnamon rolls, and they were on the counter, right? So, but the thing is, here's what I think that doesn't make sense with his story. First of all, I mean, why would she have to put the sweater on? Like, he could have just, and let's say this happened. Let's get the benefit of the doubt. She's a big girl. Close your eyes, right? Do you really need to put a sweater on? Close your eyes and smell this. Like, where would you ever get, oh, put a sweater on? I think the sweater came into it because somehow her head got on that sweat. Like, there was something that got all over that sweater. There's something with the sweater. Like, I don't know that.
Maybe that was the sweater that she was wearing. And
like maybe she was taking it off, and that's when she got hit. But there was something, it's not smelling the candles. I just know it's not. And the other thing is a baseball bat, just like Jones, okay, I can't believe, okay, he says that Casey came at him with the bat and was pushing him. So in that instance, okay, maybe if she came at him and then he grabbed the bat, so he had the bat. But I don't think it's normal for a guy to murder a woman that's small like Kelsey with a bat in that's like a frenzied killing. That's something you see in, I can imagine Crystal doing something like that. I imagine Patrick, why would he want to make that amount of mess? He was a big guy. He could have easily just strangled her, right? And did something without making that much mess. That sounds like a total frenzy.
Yeah, it's like pure hatred, hates her, wants her dead. You know, he was working on trying to kill her since the baby was born. Since before the baby was born, he had a disdain for her, and perhaps he did hit her with the bat because there's a lot of blood evidence to suggest that. And then the whole tooth situation where Crystal testifies that she retrieved this tooth, and she didn't say it was a tooth fragment, it was a tooth. But then there's another tooth fragment. Maybe that was from a gun. We don't know, but there's a lot of blood. A lot of blood around.
Yeah, there's something that something is so, I don't know. I don't think it happened at all the way it's said that it did.
Do you think that maybe while he was at Walmart or the bank that someone else might have snuck in to do the job? Because some people think that.
Me, because they're so certain that the baby was in the back bedroom when it happened, right? They're so certain that little Kaylee was in the back in a playpen in the back room.
No, I'm not certain that they think that because there was blood on the playpen. I think that they think that Kaylee witnessed this.
Okay, but that's what I mean, that she was there. So if she was there, then you would say he was there, right? And could he and her have been there at the same time? Could she have been waiting? Could Crystal have been snuck in there when they were out in the alleyway or something? Remember when he went to make the switch with the baby?
Hmm.
in the alleyway?
I believe she has her father is her alibi, and I believe that turned out to be a very good source, an alibi for her.
Mm-hmm.
And she was actually in Idaho. I don't believe there's anything that
Okay.
shows that she was in Colorado. But based on the timeline, the videos, and the cell phone pinging, it looks as though he went in quickly before Kelsey got in. The baby never left the car seat. It doesn't appear that. He's had the time to do it because he was back and forth with the baby in the car seat. I think that he did it and the baby sat in the car seat. Why he did all he did, he came back he hit her, whacked her, left, came back, dealt with her even more. I don't know if he finished her off or whatever, but he spent a lot of time, and there was a lot of blood in that bathroom. So I believe he did something in that bathroom too. I hate to talk about it, but that's what I think. A lot of us have come to think.
Yeah.
We'll know more next week.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
the weeks following.
So you say you don't know how far they got with the jury. You think it could be opening arguments could start Friday, right? You said they could.
It's scheduled to start Friday, and they're adamant to be on track with this. So it's looking like it'll go right on time, right on schedule.
Oh, okay. And it's supposed to be 3 weeks, so yeah, I guess.
3 or 4 weeks, yeah. I heard something maybe by Thanksgiving it'll be wrapped up, and how kind of poetic that is that
Yeah.
come Thanksgiving we'll know.
I know. Well, at least didn't take 5 years to go to trial, right?
Right.
So yeah, but just
Yeah.
hope that the justice is done there. That's all we can hope for. So.
Yeah,
Right.
exactly.
Well, but thanks for coming on, and
Thank
thanks for
you.
keeping us updated. We appreciate it. I didn't know you were
Thank
that
you,
close. I'm
guys.
glad to hear it. Thanks so much.
Yeah, we appreciate you, and take care, guys.
All right,
Love
take
you.
care, Deb. Have a good night.
Bye-bye.
Bye bye. Okay, I don't know. Sorry, did you get the I don't know if Sorry was waiting.
Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
Oh, you're on. Okay, I didn't know you were here.
I am. I'm on, but I see that it says administrator, and I suppose I was supposed to put a number in. I've never
Oh,
called it.
you're fine. We can hear you. Yeah, I didn't even know you were on. I was like, I thought you were okay. So now we're going to switch. Let me just tell them because then they get confused. We're going to switch gears
Sure.
to now the other case we talked about with the husband and the wife. Remember last night, Faria, and then Pam that ended up being charged with another murder that she tried to make look like a hitman. Remember that one? Okay, go ahead.
Okay, so I'm sure that I'm probably going to be repeating much of what you covered last night.
Oh, it's okay.
So yeah, just excuse me on this fact. It's such a crazy, twisted crime, and there's just so much to cover. Can you hear me okay?
Yes, and they just want to know. This is Sorry Shares, and she has her own channel. You can check it out, Sorry Shares, on YouTube. And I don't know if someone can grab our link and put it in there for her. That would be great. But it's Sorry Shares.
Yeah, I haven't uploaded anything in a little while since the Angie Hausman case. This is the last time I uploaded anything. That's also, interestingly enough, another case that is being prosecuted by this same PA, prosecuting attorney Tim Lomar. It's interesting that there are no district attorneys in those counties, which is kind of odd.
Oh,
but
wow.
yeah, only PAs. It's rather odd. So this is actually the Betsy Faria murder case, and Pam Hupp and Russ Faria are the two main individuals involved in this. So I'll give you just a little bit of a background. Now, the way that I got involved in it was kind of a local web sleuth board, and people were outraged, some of us that, kind of follow local stories, that he was convicted unfairly, arrested unfairly. So we were advocating by constantly putting pressure on the prosecuting attorney's office of Lincoln County, as well as news media. And we have a dogged local news anchor, Chris Hayes, who followed her around, Pam Hupp, knocking on her door. So he was really instrumental in a lot of what's actually taken place. So I'll give you a little background about where this took place. So Troy, Missouri is the town that they lived in, the Farias lived in. And it's a really small rural town at border St. Louis. It's about an hour away, 60 miles from St. Louis. It's in Lincoln County, and it's populated by mainly blue collar, like low to mid income residents. There's a few little new subdivisions of like small frame houses,
Mm-hmm.
inexpensive homes that like the Farias lived in. They kind of popped up, but it's really an area of a lot of older trailer parks and farms, and then fast food restaurants and chain gas
Mm-hmm.
stations lining the highways from St. Louis north. So that kind of lets you, and then St. Charles, where Pam Hupp lives, is kind of in between there. Now Pam met Betsy Faria when they both worked at an insurance company for a brief time. And Betsy had disclosed that she had breast cancer to Pam Hupp, which some people believe is the reason that Pam wanted to become and her friend befriended her.
Mm-hmm.
She befriended her, and that she may have had this in the workings for a while. And nobody in Betsy's group of friends, and she was a DJ, very she was a very bubbly person. She had a lot of friends, but this was a friend that was on the sidelines. So Russ had only met her just a handful of times, and none of Betsy's friends or family had ever met Pam up to this point, which is really odd.
Hmm.
So yeah, and so it starts out with Pam lying right off the bat about Betsy's life and her relationship with her from like the very beginning. And so it also didn't help that Betsy's mother, Janet Meyer,
Mm-hmm.
didn't like Russ, and she believed that Russ was responsible for Betsy's murder. And Pam, along with the sheriff's department of Lincoln County, had been talking to Janet and filling her ear with a lot of bull crap, convincing her of Russ's guilt.
Mm-hmm.
Also, the prosecuting attorney at the time, Leah Askey, and she's now Leah Cheney, she was, I think you said this last night, she was having a crazy affair with the arresting officer, Mike Lang.
Oh,
Which,
no, I didn't. Oh no, I didn't know that.
oh, you didn't know that? I thought you did
No.
say that. Okay, yeah, she would, which that kind of makes things rather suspect.
Wow, really?
Yeah, yeah, she was having, yeah.
That adds another twist.
It does, doesn't
Yeah.
it? And yeah, they were setting out originally to frame Russ. This was the whole deal. And then, of course, her mother was grief stricken, and they want to advocate for the mom, but they had been filling her ear with all these huge lies. Now, now, of course, Russ was kind of on the crass side and maybe a little uncouth at times. The people at
Mm-hmm.
church called him a pig. He just kind of was a different kind of guy. He wasn't
Rub people the wrong
sophisticated.
way. Yeah.
Yeah,
Right.
but they said he was a really sweet guy, and he loved and adored Betsy. So
Mhm.
like all the rumors of this infidelity, all the different infidelities and the
Mhm.
lesbian affair, they were all fabricated by Pam. There was never anything substantiated on either side.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's all lies.
Oh,
And that
okay.
was, yeah, she wanted to add that to make, give her credence to this plot,
I see.
to frame Russ Faria and Betsy's murder. And Betsy had two teen daughters, and they tried to make it look like, oh, it was a hostile home and they had to leave the home. It's not true. They were angsty teenagers. This is a stepfather.
Mm-hmm.
They were wanting to kind of do their own thing. So, and with Betsy having to go in for chemo, St. Louis is about an hour away, like I said. And so
Mhm.
between her trying to work and being a patient down at Washington University Medical Center in St. Louis and all the chemo, it was just easier logistically for the kids to get to school and their events if they stayed with family members. So that's really why. But they did have a good relationship with Russ up to that point. So fast forward to the wrongful arrest. Russ Faria retained Joel Schwartz, who's a partner at the law firm of Rosenblum, Schwartz and Fry. They are considered the top trial attorneys in St. Louis. They handle all the politicians and the wealthiest clients here.
Mm-hmm.
By the way, I went to school with Scott Rosenblum and some of his siblings, and they're very nice people. But anyway, so Leah Askey is now Leah Cheney, and she was, like I said, the prosecuting attorney for Lincoln County at the time of Betsy's murder. And Lincoln County and St. Charles counties, like I said, do not have district attorneys. There's a whole nother backstory to that. They only have prosecuting attorneys. So that would be Leah Cheney. I'll just refer to her as Cheney now.
Okay.
She and the circuit judge, Chris, kind of their undoing. So in July 2016, Russ sued Leah Cheney, the PA, the prosecuting attorney of Lincoln County, and the two sheriff's investigators, you were talking about them last night, Michael Merkel and Patrick Harney.
Right.
But the PA, Leah Cheney, was acquitted, which coincidentally released Lincoln County of any responsibility. So, you know, that's all the money. Yeah. So anyway, so now this judge that acquitted Russ Faria, his name's Stephen Omer. It was done during a bench trial in November of 2015. He called the investigation into the case rather disturbing. And there's a lot of reasons why. So the two investigators that were with them, the two that did the interrogation and they gave him the lie detector test, they were fired from Lincoln County and they're working at Florissant Police Department in St. Louis County. And the polygraph results were also misreported. They were not, they were not false. They were inconclusive. And they were inconclusive after hours and hours of, he was already, upset. You know how they can come back inconclusive, right? But the method itself and the test itself was called into question by the judge. And he had viewed that. So he thought there was something not kosher about that too. The other thing is that Russ's house shoes had Betsy's blood on the soles of the shoes.
Right.
But there were no tracks existing on the carpeting leading into the bedroom. So they were planted by Pam. They were dipped in the blood on the bottom and all of a sudden they appear in there, which was, crazy. And then Pam's cell phone records placed her at the subdivision at the time of the murder. Now there's only one cell tower in that area and the subdivision is very, very remote. So she would have had to have been in the subdivision and she lied about that. So the PA, Leah Cheney, refused to allow any of the defense discovery. They did not let Schwartz enter any of these findings during that trial, which was unbelievable.
Wow.
Yeah, so Pam was then questioned in 2013 regarding her possible involvement in Betsy's murder, and her response was, this is really telling. She said, this is a quote, "I really hate to say it, if I wanted money, my mom's worth $500,000. And I'm going to get that when she dies. My mom has dementia and doesn't know half the time who we are. She's been living alone in a condo. And I know that sounds really morbid and stuff like that, but I'm a life insurance person. If I really wanted money, there's an easier way than to combat somebody that's physically stronger than me. Just saying." She's saying that Betsy was physically stronger than her. Now, 4 months after that same interview, Pam Hupp's mom, and you talked about this last night, Shirley Newman, who's 77, she fell to her death on Halloween. And it's weird because I have a girlfriend whose mother lives in the same building. But anyway, she went through the third floor balcony of a Fenton senior living community. Fenton's a suburb of St. Louis, so that's like 20 minutes from downtown. The top railing of the outdoor balcony was intact, but there was damage to the vertical bars, and the police believe the damage was caused by Newman's fall. That's what they said, but there's no witnesses and no videos. And so then at that time, the police called it an accident. But the St. Louis County Police report says Hupp took her mom to the doctor. I think you covered this too, and brought her back to the nursing home. She planned this at 8 o'clock on the 30th and then told the staff, quote, "If Shirley doesn't show up for breakfast, notify the family." Well, Shirley didn't show up for breakfast and she didn't show up for lunch. And then a housekeeper found her dead at 2:30 on Halloween. And the medical examiner at that time noted that Newman's hands were slightly pruny. It had been raining. And she was found with 84 micrograms of Ambien, the toxicology report said. That's like 8 times what you should have in your blood.
Wow.
So the police came out and did a reenactment of this. And it indicated that her mother would have had to be pushed due to the structure and the strength of the railings and vertical bars on the balcony. So she actually physically had to push her mother out. Even if her mother had tumbled and fallen, she would never have fallen over. She fell through, so she was
Right,
shoved.
there had to be a lot of force too to take that balcony. You're talking about the spindles came down, right?
Exactly,
Right.
but not the top railing. Yes, that's exactly right. Yeah. And they reenacted it with a dummy or some sort of, I don't know if it was a man, it was 210 pounds. And she had to have been pushed. So, so then Hupp, she had a real close relationship with the prosecuting attorney who prosecuted in did the whole thing with Russ. She was a prosecuting attorney for Russ. Hupp and Cheney, this Leah Cheney, they were like close. It's weird. So Hupp says to Cheney, the more people kept telling me to do it. No, I skipped a part. Yeah. So then a year later in 2015, Hupp's talking to Lincoln County Prosecutor Leah Cheney, and this is a recorded pretrial meeting. This is before Russ is going to be retried for Betsy's murder.
Mhm.
So they're in a private room off to the side. Like I said, they were chummy, and they're discussing the $150,000 life insurance proceeds that Pam got from Betsy.
Right.
And how Pam had promised to give the money to the girls, to
Mhm.
Betsy's daughters, and never did. So Hupp says to Cheney, yeah, the more people keep telling me to do it, she's speaking about giving the girls the money, the more I didn't want to do it, and I just didn't. And then Leah Cheney, the prosecuting attorney, she goes, yeah, right. And then Hupp says, well, it was just pissing me off. And then the prosecuting attorney laughs and says, yeah, you were getting bullied. Can you believe that?
Mhm. Speaking of that insurance, right? Do they have? She had a witness at the library, right? Change the beneficiary when they changed the beneficiary.
Yes. Now, the interesting thing about that is that woman does not remember who came in. She was just
So I
a
was going to ask you
notary.
that. I was going to ask you
Yeah.
if they ever saw that it was really Betsy.
Yeah, she could not say it was or wasn't, and she
Okay.
couldn't even say it was Pam or not Pam. She's just a notary. Pam went in with someone, could have been anybody, and had that done. So they don't even know if that was Betsy. Yeah, that's a good point. That was another thing I was going to say. So they don't know.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So then the other thing too is that okay, so then they were discussing the trial strategy. Why this prosecuting attorney is discussing this trial strategy with a suspect is just unbelievable. And they both were complaining about the media coverage. And then the topic shifted to Pam's mom. And Hupp says, yeah, people say I killed her. You know, we sold her house, her car, everything she owned, and put her in a home. To everybody else on the planet, I took a 210-pound woman and threw her through the railing. How could you do that? How could a man do that? The prosecuting attorney, Cheney, she never even questioned that comment. So then the St. Louis County Police Department, of course, they started asking the public to review Shirley Newman's fatal fall. They wanted to know if anybody saw anything or heard anything, and she is yet to be charged with that murder. The other thing is that's in St. Louis County. Betsy Faria's murder is in Lincoln County, and then the murder that she was convicted of is Louis Gumpenberger, and that's St. Charles County. So she's savvy enough to know that these departments don't like each other and don't work well with each other.
Mm-hmm.
So she committed crimes out of St. Louis. It's very odd the way it's set up with these counties. And so that was kind of savvy on her part.
Very calculating, right? Really?
Yeah, very, very much so. Yeah. And it's interesting too. So I could go into the whole thing about the corruption. The DOJ came here in St. Louis County following the Michael Brown shooting and unrest, but that would take weeks for me to tell you all that. So, but right now, just to give you a mirror or a picture, a little insight of what's going on, we have a St. Louis County mayor. His title's actually a county executive, and his name's Steve Stanger. He's in jail right now. He was just arrested on unrelated charges. And then Tim Lohmeyer, he is the St. Charles prosecuting attorney who announced Pam's arrest, prosecuted her in the Louis Gumpenberger's murder.
Right.
He's a married man, and he was just questioned and admitted to stalking a pretty young judge in one of his St. Charles systems. And he admitted to having an affair with her and then stalking her and was going to her. He's on her little surveillance camera outside her house. He would bring bottles of mustard over to her garage door and rub it on her garage door.
You mustard?
Can look it up. Yes, mustard. This is coincidentally, these incidents happen just days of her conviction, Pam Hupp's conviction.
Why would he rub the mustard? Do you know why he would rub the mustard on there?
I don't know. They think it had something to do with some little private thing between them. He's married and he has a beautiful wife, beautiful daughter. She is a very, very pretty judge, and they had this lurid affair going on, and she wanted to call it quits, and he just kept stalking her. So some people suspect that it had some little romantic thing, like a inside something.
Inside joke of the mustard.
Yeah, something between them. But he was very mad. He was, yeah. So he tried to say it wasn't him, but they have him on, CCTV.
We have you buying what did he get? Grey Poupon or was
no, it was a cheap yellow mustard.
Cheap one. Yeah, couldn't even get the expensive one. Oh my
God. No, yeah, just the cheap stuff. Isn't it hilarious? Yeah.
French's.
So crazy, right? Yes. Yeah, it's insane, right? So yeah. So anyway, yeah. So, but back to her now, because that's just a little background on how crazy. You've got two prosecuting attorneys that are really suspect in this case. Then you also have the affair between the arresting officer. You know what I mean? So there's a lot of reasons. Yeah.
Maybe she called him Colonel Mustard, and maybe she was Miss Scarlet or something, right?
Oh yeah, that's right. That's
maybe
very clever of you. Could be. It could be. Yeah.
Some kind of clue. Clue reference, right?
Right. Exactly. Yeah. There you go. So, so back to Pam, the case was covered in, I don't know if you know that, several Dateline episodes. I think there were 3 in total. That's not counting the Keith Morrison podcast.
Right.
That's titled The Thing About Pam. So, because, the story was ever emerging and changing, so they would come back here to St. Louis and cover the latest and everything. But Pam was like really starstruck with the Dateline producer, Kathy Singer.
Mm-hmm.
She was like just complete, like, crazy about that woman, wanted to be her. She actually pretended, I don't know if you knew that or if you covered that last night.
No.
Because So Pam was pretending to be Kathy from Dateline when she was scouting the low income trailer parks in St. Charles and Lincoln County for the victim to murder. Now that was Louis Gumpenberger, but she had tried several other people, and she was posing as Kathy Singer. She was saying, "Oh, I'm the producer from Dateline.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, I would like to see if you're interested in doing a voiceover. It's just a couple of lines. You get $1,000. It'll take you less than a minute. You just need to do it. It's going to be a spot on a reenactment of a 911 call for an upcoming Dateline show about Russ Faria." This is what she was telling people. So a couple guys are like, "No," but she was driving in these trailer parks, right?
Mm-hmm.
One chick who looked like she probably would do it. I mean, looks can be deceiving.
Right.
The gal was savvy enough to have her pull in the driveway. She's like, "Yeah, I'll do it. The gal had her own little CCTV on the front of her trailer park because she wanted to catch Pam's license plate and then call the police because she knew something wasn't right about this. So Pam, she's like, "Okay." She says, "Yeah, I got to change my shoes." So Pam drives down, pulls in long enough for the girl to run inside and call the police. And then she went back to the door and told Pam she wasn't interested. Pam continued on looking for another victim. Meanwhile, she had the money in her pocket with that pathetic note that supposedly was written by Russ. And she runs into Louis Gumpenberger. And he was a disabled man. I don't know if you know that.
He was developmentally disabled, right? Wasn't he?
Yeah, he had a horrific, tragic car accident. He was okay before that, but that was a result. He wasn't born that way. That was a result of a car accident. Yes, which is really terrible. Yeah, so she's really crazy. But that's how she found him, and she had this deep disdain for the local news journalists. I was telling you about Chris Hayes. He really pursued her from day one. Like I said, he would knock on her door and ask her questions. And he was good. So he works for KTVI here. And when she was arrested and brought in for the interrogation after murdering Louis Gumpenberger, she blamed the entire thing on Chris Hayes for the arrest. Everything. She said, "It's all his fault because he keeps putting me on TV and it's his fault. That's why they think I did that." She was insane. And like we were talking about, nobody could corroborate that it was her that signed her change to the beneficiary. She could never prove that. But an interesting fact about this is that during the trial, Pam Hupp told Lincoln County Prosecutor Leah Cheney that she had Betsy's life insurance proceeds, and she brought $150,000 in cash in a bag and showed it to Cheney. Unbelievable. Yeah. So the attorney that is prosecuting Pam, he is like, can't believe it. He said, "What did you just say?" And she said, "I had a sack of cash. Am I not clear?" And then he says, "So you brought a sack of cash and showed Miss Cheney that you had $150,000? Is that your testimony here?" She goes, "How many times do I have to say it?" And she would try to control. She was insane. She stuck that pen in her neck. She was really crazy. I don't think she was crazy. She was just trying to be manipulative. But
Right.
anyway, yeah, she says, "How many times do you want me to say it?" And she would scream at them and say, "Whoa, stop the defense attorney. Whoa, 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 hold up, mister. Just a minute, buddy." She was doing stuff like, and she's crazy. Yeah, so she brought that in a brown paper bag. So then, Russ spent in total 2 years on the conviction, 2 years prior to that. He couldn't bond out. So it was 4 years
Right.
for Betsy's murder. And now, of course, the mother, Betsy's mom, has changed her tune. She knows that, there's something wrong. So she's only charged in Louis Gumpenberger's murder. And they have overwhelming evidence against her in
But
the
they
end.
just opened up the Betsy's again, right?
Yeah, but like a lot of people are saying, are they? Yeah, they had to open it. They do that.
Right.
But what are they really going to do with this? Are they really going to pursue anything with it? I mean, she's got life in prison, and it's going to cost them, and they're really cheap. I mean, we've got a convicted child killer that is tied to a worldwide porn ring, and they don't want to bring anybody else down with them. There's a lot of things behind the scenes, and they'll probably just, they might. It's hard to say what they're going to do. I really don't think they're going to do much of anything, in all honesty. Lomar, like I said, there's that infighting between Lomar and, between St. Charles County and Lincoln County and St. Louis County. So, it's going to be interesting to see if anything is ever done about this or not. It's hard to say. Betsy would have been, she just would have been 50 this past March, which is really, really sad. And then her daughters, they're in their 20s, 24 and 28, and they have not talked to Russ Faria since that trial because the prosecution had them, I'm stumbling here, had them testify against him. They were for the other side, and that completely ruined
Destroyed the
their
relationship, right?
Yeah, absolutely, yeah. So it was really, really sad. Everybody kind of knew that that Pam did it. And the other thing that they tried to do, um, you had that group of friends that played the Dungeon and Dragon
Oh yeah,
thing.
yeah.
So they like every night on the news back when this happened, they were trying to say that group, it was a big conspiracy between them all to kill her.
To kill her. Yeah.
Yeah, and that they were covering for him and holding the cell phone and doing all. The other thing that's really odd in this case is that friend who held that game night lived in South St. Louis, in the actual city border of St. It's over an hour out there to his house. But they kept reporting it and giving a timeline of him being in Lake St. Louis, which is only like maybe 20 minutes from his house. He wasn't in Lake St. Louis. He was in St. Louis City. And they were going down there picking that group up and like berating them and it was terrible what they were doing to them. Like this was this whole big conspiracy. But the relationship between Pam, and she bought a house too, eventually with that money. That's the house she lived
So
in.
that's what I was going to ask you. So she bought a house with that insurance money?
Yes, she did. And that not very far from where the Farias lived. That area out there was very rural, and they're very small, kind of little tract homes. You can get for under $100,000. They're pretty cheap. And that's where she and her husband moved into, because before that, she was living on a very small disability SSI check. So she had all kinds of motivation. Yeah, she got her mom's money. I don't know. They have not disclosed how much that was. She claims it was $500,000, but who knows? She had siblings, so there's no telling.
So what happened then? Did they the girls got nothing then?
Girls got nothing. And that was her explanation to the police for for Betsy changing the beneficiary, is that their relationship was so strained, and she was really afraid that Russ was not going to give the girls the money, and she entrusted Pam with doing that. Pam even made up that lie about him holding the pillow over her
Oh
face
yeah,
and all
yeah.
that.
This
Yeah,
is how it feels to die, right?
yeah, which is a bunch of crap. What's interesting is one of the daughters had said, yeah, he was kind of a jerk, but he would have never done that. Now, they, at that point, were kind of, the prosecution was using them against him. And they said, this is going to sound really crass, but they said, yeah, he's the kind of guy that might like pass gas in the bed and pull the covers over her head, and think that's funny, but
Right.
not put a pillow over her face. In fact, when she was in remission, they had gone on the cruise. People that knew them,
Mm-hmm.
their church friends and stuff, said, yeah, he was a little uncouth, but he adored her.
Mm-hmm.
And she was no, fading wallflower. She
Mm-hmm.
could hold her own. She didn't take crap from anybody. So all these assertions that Pam Hupp made were BS. Her friends said this is all nonsense from day one. But
Right
the
now,
fact,
I was
huh?
going to ask you one quick question. The one thing, like where she said they were in a lesbian affair, that was to explain the beneficiary, right? Because otherwise, there was no reason why she would have made Pam this beneficiary, right?
Well, that's interesting because she only came up with that years later. Initially, she just said it was because the that Betsy did not trust Russ to give the girls the money. Then after Chris Hayes, the person she told this to actually was Chris Hayes, the news broadcast or the news journalist that would not let this go. I mean, he's really instrumental in a lot of this coming to light. They kept saying to her, well, if this is the case, you haven't given a dime to the girls. Now, Cheney, the prosecuting attorney in that case that prosecuted that, handled Russ's first trial, she was fine with it. She didn't care. She told her, yeah, you don't have to give anything to them. You're getting bullied. This is unbelievable, right? The news the news guy, Chris Hayes, is the one that she said that to, because he said that is impossible. You said it's only because of that, and now you haven't given the girls any money. What's the real deal? And she says, okay, well, I didn't want to say this, I didn't want to ruin her memory, but we had a very hot and steamy lesbian relationship, and she wanted me to have the money. Now, this was said years after that, and it's, of course, it's not true. But she just, because they weren't buying that first explanation, because if, after all, if she entrusted you to give the girls some money and you never gave them a dime, well, then that certainly can't be true.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a shame because there's no cameras in the library, and that librarian, or it wasn't she was a librarian who had a notary, she was a
Oh,
notary.
okay. All right.
Yeah. And she doesn't remember what the gals looked like. So no one could corroborate that was even Betsy.
Right, right.
And
she could have gotten some lady that looked like Betsy, right? And they probably wouldn't have really scrutinized her driver's license or anything, right?
Right.
Yeah.
And she could have driven around to, like they say, what's the best predictor of future behavior is past behavior. So, she drove around looking for some victim to kill, to frame Russ. Who's to say she didn't do the same thing when she was looking for someone to pose as Betsy and just sign it?
Yeah.
So, yeah, that's what I think, and other people think as well. Betsy would not have done that.
Mm-hmm. Right. Yeah. I mean, definitely. And then there was this one other policy, right? And then didn't she have another policy that was
from who?
And not Betsy. Hold on a minute. Betsy had a smaller insurance policy through Russ, right?
Say that again. Betsy had what?
Did they have another insurance policy, a smaller one, like $50,000?
It possibly, yeah. I just know the total was 150. So that, yeah.
Oh, okay. So it was all right. I got it.
Yeah, it was 150.
Yeah. All right. So and any plans to that's some case that they should make into a movie. That's quite
right.
So many stuff in there, especially with the mustard. I mean, just like a lot of weird things, like
I know, right? Really weird, yet concerning law enforcement, right?
Yeah.
And that crazy affair that she was having with the arresting officer.
Yeah.
The prosecuting attorney.
Yeah.
Isn't that insane though?
It is. It's yeah. I can't believe it. I'm going to look into it a little more. I mean, this yeah, definitely. No wonder why Keith Morrison has that. I'm going to listen to the rest of his podcast because yeah, wow.
It's crazy. And Miss Singer has said that this is the strangest case in her time at Dateline.
Wow.
Nothing compares to this. Yeah, I think they've, like I said, I believe there are three episodes. There may be more, as well as that podcast. Yeah, the twists and turns. And who knows? She's obviously a serial killer. There is
Yeah.
no telling who else she has killed. I mean, who knows?
Wow. It sounds yeah. She sounds it's really wow.
And I think had it been maybe, and I hate to say anything disparaging about the city that I live in, but had it been somewhere else, I don't think it would have played out like this. It's just all this kind of, all that corruption. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
That's how, yeah, they were going to make Russ guilty one way or the other. And because it started out with Mike Lang. And yeah, and then her showing a bag of money and them laughing about it. It's incredible.
Yeah. That just sounds nuts, right? Oh my gosh.
Yeah. So who knows?
I'm still thinking about the mustard, but
I know, right?
I'm thinking because I'm thinking like, did he write initials or he just rub it on? I don't know. I'm sure he did like a heart shape with the mustard. I don't know.
I know, right?
Colonel was here, maybe Colonel was here. I don't know.
Yeah, who knows, right? Isn't that funny?
I got to look up about that mustard.
You have to look it up. Look up Tom Lomar, Lohmar. Look up and Tim, not Tom. Tim. It's late at night. I get up early. I get up at 5. Tim Lomar, St. Charles prosecutor, or just St. Charles, PA in Missouri. And there's a little bit of videotape that you can see him kind of walking away from the garage. So yeah, it's kind of interesting. But yeah, he was.
Is he still together with his wife?
Yeah, sure. And they didn't force him out of office. There was all he had to do was issue an apology to her. Isn't that something? Just say he was sorry to the judge, and he's carry on business as usual.
But I bet you mustard is probably a really sore spot. Like if the wife says, "We need mustard," right? That's probably like a buzzword. There's really no more mustard in the house anymore.
Yeah, exactly right.
Right?
Oh my God!
You think about it every time, and mustard's something like most people buy.
Yeah,
a lot, right? It's not like cranberry sauce like once a year, maybe, right?
Right, exactly, right. This is a daily condiment in a lot of homes. Yeah, so that's going to. Yeah, I wonder if their marriage is going to. Make
gosh, it. Yeah, mustard.
Beautiful
I'm
wife.
I'm not going to look at mustard the same now.
I know, right? Is that crazy though? Everyone was like, "What the heck?" And the insiders knew for a while that this had been going on and that they were seeing each other, and they were all waiting for this to go down because this gal was supposedly had been trying to get rid of him and felt intimidated. This judge, about breaking it off, and finally just did it. Now he was. He didn't run for, did he run? Yeah, he did run for office, I believe, but his dad was the prosecuting attorney. It's old money in that area, and he just kind of happened into that spot. Be interesting to see if he's reelected, but yeah, he's kind of a younger, nice looking guy, beautiful family. The heck did he? Yeah. And then the other gal too, that's just the other prosecuting attorney. So yeah. And then our city mayor here, in jail. It's just like, it's crazy, right? So yeah, but that mustard is really weird. Yeah, you can go look that up.
I think everybody's going to probably be looking that up. Yeah.
And it was it's so weird because it was within days of him looking all, prim and proper in his white starched shirt. He looks almost like, if you see his face, he looks like a very young, who was the rifleman? Chuck? Who was that? It played in the TV show that he starred in The Rifleman. What is his name? He put you in mind of him, a younger version. I can't think of the guy's name in The Rifleman.
Someone said?
Yeah, Connor. Yeah, he looks like him. Only he has darker hair, kind of piercing blue eyes. He dresses. He's just a beautiful dresser. He's well spoken. Seems like he's probably just the best husband. So deceiving, right?
Yeah,
the best husband and great family man, and Oh yeah, his social media pages were flooded with pictures of,
Mustard.
his with mustard. Yeah, right. That's hilarious, isn't it? I
Yeah.
know. I know. I had to pick some mustard up the other day, and same way here. I will always associate that with him. That's
I bet
crazy.
you like his coworkers and stuff probably fool around with like, did we have any
Oh,
mustard in the break room? Right?
yeah, they are. That's so funny. Yeah, I kind of talked to one of them off the record.
Yeah.
In the Angie Hausman case, because they're prosecuting that guy as well. He's a
Mhm.
serial killer. So, and rapist, child rapist. So I have gotten little tidbits here and there of, that's kind of how I knew this was going to break anyway. But yeah, that's just really crazy. And yeah, he's up there. This was within days that he's rubbing them right after, like within days of the Pam Hupp thing, all over the garage. It's insane. So yeah, it is. And I'm sure that Dateline knows a lot of that too. Of course, they're not going to discuss that. I'm quite sure, but it just kind of adds to the
It
story.
adds, right? It's definitely a Lifetime movie stuff, the mustard.
Right? Isn't it? Yeah, just so
you could
bizarre.
see them like show him with the little cart or the basket and picking out the mustard. And,
yeah. Choosing it, yeah. Putting back, no, I don't want the brown
yeah.
spice.
Oh, look, that one's on sale. I'll just get that.
Yeah, right. Oh my God. It's insane, isn't it? Yeah. So I just, but thanks so much for having me on.
No, it was great. Everybody loved you. You read your comments. They said you have a voice, they love your voice for radio
that's
and
so
TV.
sweet.
And that was a great call. And both called.
that's
Yeah, it was great. Come on anytime and tell us about what's going on with the other cases.
Okay, absolutely will do. Thanks again. And I love your
All right,
community
check
that you've
Sari
created.
out. She's Sari Shares.
I need to post something on my channel. I have a brand new great grandson.
Oh,
Came in
congratulations.
August. Yeah, thank you. And just been busy with him. And I work mornings from home, so I'm up early. So I just haven't posted anything, but I'll throw something up there. Carolyn, thank you so much. I
thanks,
appreciate
Sari.
it. You guys, love you, Ramblers, and
right.
Have a wonderful evening.
All right, it was great. Thanks so
Yeah,
much.
thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Thanks. That was fun. So, Connors, let's see. She told that great. Yeah, that was really good. I'm going to look up the mustard later. Probably. Yeah. Do we have Sari's? Did we put the link up for Sari's channel? Did we find that? Do you need me to find it? Did you guys find it? Sari? Did we or not? Oh, you did? Oh, thanks, Jess. Okay. So, yeah, Deb's call was great, and I can't believe, I don't know why I thought she lived further out. I didn't think we had anybody that lived there, but that's great that she'll be going to the courthouse. Wonderful. I mean, I'd love to have the cameras in there, but that's, what are you going to do? This is the next best thing. Hi, Sassy Darcy. Hi, Miss Lucier. How are you? Can you put her link up again? Oh, yeah, Jess, do you have her link again real quick? Or... And who else? Hi, Michelle. Okay. Hi, Julie. Who else came in? Thank you, Adacor, for the super chat. Hi, Kristen. The mustard. I have so many thoughts about the mustard. Like, how was he applying it? Was he applying it with his hands or something else? I'm just thinking about all the jokes at his workplace, and just what a sore spot that must be with his wife. And like, especially if one of their kids likes mustard or something, it just must be really. Why do you have to keep asking for mustard? Are you trying to needle me? Okay. Yeah, at a restaurant, you guys want mustard? No. No, we don't. Okay, let's see if I can at least. And my neck and skull has 3 bulging discs. Oh. I hope. And bone spurs, you have to have, what are they doing about it? I hope that it gets better, the pain gets better. He always gets cheese with his pretzels now. Yeah. He tries to specifically order things that they'll not ask for mustard. Yeah, there's Sari's channel is up there. Just posted that. So if you want to Sub. She's going to put some other stuff up. Hey, Lady Hawk. He was making happy little trees. Yeah, but what was he using? Oh my goodness. Mustard on hot dog. Who said that? Wildlife. Oh my goodness. That's so crazy. See, we have these tidbits. That's something. Sorry. Oh my gosh. I actually feel like something with mustard. I don't know why. But even while trying to deflate a giant pink flamingo. Oh, the pool float? It took an hour? Wow. That must have been fun. Hi, Bethany. Alma, I will call in one of these days. Oh, are you buffering, Lisa? Oh, boy. Let me see if anybody sent in anything. I know somebody was going to send something in. Let's see. Anybody had? Yeah. Where's my mail? Oh, another email from Michael's about the monstrous Halloween whatever sale. All I do is get my, let's see, what's this? Oh, thanks to Brian Clan. She may be asleep by the time we go on. Okay, let's see. Oh, Kristen, so do I need to download an app? I think just download the app on your phone for Zoom. You have a ring stand. So yeah, I think then, yeah, download the Zoom app. Yeah, I think it's just called Zoom Cloud. What is it called on the phone? Zoom Cloud, I think, or let me see. I don't even know. Mine's charging over there. Yeah, it's simple. I mean, I think it's Zoom Meeting, Zoom Meeting, Zoom Cloud or something. I think that's the best way to do it on your phone so that she appears on camera, right? Or can she, I don't know. Who does the Zoom on their phone? Can you, latest, let's see, what is this? This is, I just got an email from Zoom about the latest, what is the latest products from Zoom? Okay. Trying to see if we have anything. Trisha, let's see what Trisha says. Hi, Carolyn. I know you live in a rural area, so I thought your boys might enjoy watching part of my husband's Halloween light show. He has been running it for a couple of weeks during Halloween season. It is programmed to music that you can hear on an FM radio station as you sit in the car to watch the show. Oh, it's a big hit in our city, and he would follow it up with a really nice Christmas show. Oh, that sounds nice. My 6-year-old just loves Halloween, so we try to make it special for him. I will also include a picture of some cookies I make for Halloween. Wow, you're talented with the cookies. I'll put the picture up. Wow, that's pretty amazing. Okay, you should see. I'm going to show you her cookies. That's crazy. You should sell the cookies. Do you sell the cookies? That's crazy, isn't it? Look at those cookies. That's really incredible. Those are really amazing. You should come and teach us how to do that. Do you make ones for Christmas too? I bet you do. Those are really great, aren't they? I wouldn't even want to eat those. I'd want to shellac them and use them as magnets or something. Or remember when they used to shellac everything, like little mini bagels, and they put magnets on them and like little lollipops, and they would just shellac everything, like in the 90s, something like that. They used them for magnets. Aren't they? They're so pretty. Let's see, and let's see what else we have. I'll take a look at the light show, but I don't think I can. If I can play it, I'll play it tomorrow night. But if it has music, then I can't. But if not, I'll play it tomorrow night. Let me see. You sent me another one. I think I sent you a blurry one. Oh, the light show. Okay, I'll check the light show out, and then if I am able to play it, I'll play it tomorrow night. The light show. Okay, but I will definitely watch it and check it out. And if it's like, if I can play it on YouTube, I will. Now let's see. What else? Do I have anything from? Louise, okay, you sent me something about the puppies. Let's see. Oh, Sakura, okay, I see. That's for the puppies too. Okay, thanks. All right, I'll check those out. Thank you, Sakura. Okay, and Sonia, you sent me something. Let me see. I'm behind on my mail. What else is new? You sent me photos. Let me see, Sonia. Let's see what's going on here. Computer's being so slow. Oh, you sent me the movie, right? And it has music, though. I did look at that one. I thought it was different. I mean, I could. Can I play it without? I just want to make sure that the music. I get so nervous with the music because then they make me lose the. Hold on, let's see here. I'll try to get that one ready for the light show tomorrow. We got a little bit of a movie night. And what else? Okay, so there's a lot. Oh, Frazee. Deb sent me something else. Oh, okay. So Deb said, thanks again for having me on tonight. This is about the Frazee case and all your work. Would you be so kind as to share our group link? Okay, yes, absolutely. Deb has a Facebook group. We need all the support we can for Kelsey. So here, I'm going to put the link in the chat. And, you know, you can join the Facebook group. I'm in the Facebook group. They run that Facebook group about Kelsey Barrett case. So it's right there. Everybody can see it. If you're on Facebook, join up. Oh, you're having a big mug of hot cocoa with peppermint marshmallows. That sounds delicious. Okay, so yeah, because Deb will be on, so show her some support and most of all support for Kelsey and her family. It's an awesome group, yes. Okay, and let's see. Oh, thanks, Deb. We're thankful for you. What did you miss, Michelle? Or are you just saying, oh, Mrs. You, oh, I see. Peppermint marshmallows, they sound good. Red Raven Spirit, right? So what else is going on? Let's see. Hey, Maui Chickadee, how are you? Hey, Angel Callie, how's things going? We've moved into the jazz section of the evening. Correct my. Oh, you're correcting yourself, Michelle. No, and I noticed it after. I just didn't know what the little missing was, and I figured what it was. The gingerbread ones too. What are we talking about? The little houses. What are you guys talking about? Or the mixes? What are you? Cookies? She was on the stand. I followed at the court case. I will replay. Pat Miller frame. Yes, Ezra. Oh, what happened in that? Did they get a verdict in that one? Yeah, let's not speak too soon, Steph. Let's just enjoy it quietly. Can we have a quick Frazee recap? Yeah, she just said that jury selection was going on as planned and that opening statements are supposed to begin on Friday, and they want to keep the case on track. And then we were just discussing different, not really updates, but different kind of theories and stuff. You should go back and watch it, Mrs. Lucier, because it was really very, very interesting. Deb was very informative. I think you'd like it. You should go back and listen at the end, but plan for opening arguments on Friday. I try to get her things with her name on it, and it's difficult. Oh, like the little license plates. Yeah, if you have a. Do they have those in your the little license plates like they have here? Probably, right? Hey Claire. Hi Anne. Can you get the transcripts? Yeah, sure, Anne. We will. Yeah, I want to get as much from that case as we can. Yeah, absolutely. Anybody else want to call in and talk about anything? Mustard, your favorite mustard? That's so weird. I guarantee you it was some kind of creepy clue thing. He was probably Colonel Mustard and she was probably Miss Scarlet. There are notes. I think she means messages. You can be in there, Kathy. Just email me and I can put you in there. I can get you in. I know people. I can get you in. Gave you a whole new feeling about mustard. I don't think any of us will probably look at it and say, oh, we need mustard. I just think that's so horrible for the wife because it's just something, oh my gosh. Probably starts a fight every single time. Talk about a trigger, right? Why'd you have to mention the mustard? You couldn't have just eaten it without mustard? Oh my gosh. Because Ethan is really into mustard. So it's like, that's why I'm laughing because I can just imagine if that was like a sticky notes. We leave little notes in the common room, the notes. I didn't see the note, Angel Kelly. I'll have to go back and look, but I'm sure nobody thinks anything less of you for anything. You can only eat mustard with mature cheese, not immature or juvenile cheese, right? Mature. I think it was for him. Sorry, gross, but the like hot dogs and mustard. Please pass the yellow stuff. Can we have the condiments? Can you just bring out all the condiments, please? Oh, gosh. So crazy. I'll be right back. I'm just gonna go rub some mustard on her garage doors. I wonder if he was making hearts. A big M. Oh my gosh, I'm surprised Saturday Night Live didn't do something about that if they knew. Please pass the not ketchup. I'll have that other stuff. What? No, just not the ketchup. The stuff in the other bottle. Hot mustard. Coleman's mustard. That's crazy. Oh my God. I wonder, did anybody listen to the podcast with Keith Morrison? I started to listen to it. I've got to finish it because he probably mentions the mustard. Funny, Bethany. You did? Does he mention the mustard, Danielle? You listened to all of it already? Wow. No, he doesn't. Are we talking condiments? Yeah, because of the case. Yeah. You missed the mustard? You have to go back and hear about the mustard. You just hope he doesn't get Kelsey's daughter. I don't think so. I hope not. Hey, Casbat. So what else is going on in the jazz section? Nothing. Look, 1333, 333. And it's 353. Somebody wanted to make a keto. Oh, yeah, that's Barbara. She's going to make the keto version. Yeah. I have to get the ingredients. So he doesn't Google KTVI. No, he doesn't go. Oh, and Tim Lomar vandalism with mustard. Oh, okay. Tim Lomar. No, Red Raven Spirit, they were joking because somebody said, like, late on in the show last night, they said something like, what are we doing? Why aren't we? And we were like, no, we moved on from that case. And then Bella Max said we were in the jazz portion of the night. So I'm just making a joke. You'll be here for a keto cake? Yeah, well, if you want the ingredients for it, are you in Slack? If you want the ingredients and you want to make it with us on camera then email and I'll get you in the group. That rings a bell. I'm just trying to remember. I tried some my friend sent me from Tasmania, Australia, and it was horrid tasting. What, mustard? Yeah, I just started listening to it. So yeah, you listen to the podcast, the thing about Pam. Anything from him is excellent. He could read the phone book. I just love his voice. It puts you so at ease. He's got the greatest voice. He could tell you the most horrendous thing, and you'd just be like, mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. It's very calming. I find like any show like that, if people didn't understand how I could go to sleep to that, and that would be very calming and I could always do it, but I think people that are not into true crime can't understand. It's something very comfortable. It's something you've grown up with, and it's something like, oh, okay, I'll just fall asleep to this. No, that's horrific. No, it's not. It's really not. It's fine. It calms me down. Yeah, absolutely. This was for wildlife. Vegemite. Oh, yeah. Oh, Vegemite. Yeah, I haven't had it, but I've heard, yeah. I'm getting the urge to take it out and start baking again. What are you taking out? I've got to find my tube pan. I've got to write that down because I've got to find out where Jimmy put it. Otherwise, I'm going to have to use a bunt pan. I don't know. I've got to find my tube pan. It's comforting to you too, yeah. All your baking equipment? Oh, you should get it out. You should come on and bake with us on Friday. We're Friday at 7 o'clock. It's not that late for you over there. Isn't it only like, did you do the time change, Mrs. Lucier? My sister just got back last night from Dublin. That pesky DNA SNL did a skit. Oh, yeah, right? Yeah, I know. Funny. Your family thinks you're certifiable, Robin? Okay, so what time is it? How? So if it's 7, Bethany, if it's 7 o'clock for us, are you for 5 hours? How far ahead of you? What time is it right now for you, Bethany? What time is it right now in Ireland? You're 4 a.m. in New Jersey. Yeah, you're like me. Where in New Jersey, Michelle? I grew up in New Jersey. It's 7:55 a.m. for you? Okay, so you're, oh, well then, wait a minute. You're almost like, so you're like 5 hours. So even, did you guys do the time change? It's 8. Oh, you're back to 4. You're 4 hours now, right? So you're 4 hours. So it would only be, 11 o'clock for you to come on and bake in Ireland. Yeah. That's not too late, Mrs. Lucier, 11 o'clock p.m. $11 is grand. I bake a lot of times at 11 p.m. It's a good time to bake. Oh, I'm Bergen County too. Captain of the police? My girlfriend's husband is the captain of the Ramsey. Do you know what town in Bergen County? You near Saddle River? Did you grow up there, Michelle? You need a trip to Vegas desperately, Sharon? What are you baking? We're baking, what is it, apple streusel coffee cake or something? The time change for us is that. Oh, Mawa. I know Mawa very well. Very well. Yep. I have friends that I went to high school with that live there, and I have he used to live there. Yeah, but my brothers just, I still have them in Upper Saddle River. You know that is, I'm sure you do. Apple and coffee cake, interesting, and no doubt yum. Could you use almond flour? You have to talk to, it's Kristen's cake. Is Kristen still here? I don't know if she's ever done any substitutions. I know when I substituted almond flour, I had to tweak it in some cookies that I made with my chocolate chip cookies. There's sometimes that you got to do some tweaks in there, so I don't want to say for sure. Yes, smash the likes because we have 1,315 people in here. So let's see if we get 1,000 likes. You don't get posh ingredients like that. I'm just using flour, you know. Oh, cool. Maybe one day I could visit you. Yeah, I do. I was down there. I was at Interstate. I'm sure you know where that is, right? My sister let me pop into Michael's for like 5 minutes. So she was like, hurry up, we've got to go. It was ridiculous. I didn't get to Tuesday morning or anything like that. You never learned how? Okay. I know I'm mom's, right? Streusel, sorry, but no streusel. Sorry, no streusel. What kind is it? It's sour cream apple coffee cake. They want to know about almond flour. Do you know about the? I don't know. Would that be the keto one? Would that Barbara know about? I don't know. Tell me. It's only a couple minutes for there. Yeah, I know. Yeah, absolutely. Ask Barbara. Oh, Barbara. You remember that Twilight Zone? Barbara. Where is my tea, Barbara? If it's not hot enough, I'll throw it on the floor. Remember that uncle? And then he made a robot that did the exact same thing. She was so happy when he passed away, and then she went down to his laboratory, and he had a robot down there. And if she would not get the inheritance if anything happened to the robot. Remember that? Barbara. Yeah. You want to go to Big Lots to dig in the fall and Christmas decor. I don't know. I'm not so impressed with the Big Lots as I am Walmart. I mean, not by me though, but I mean by some of you. Obviously, had a tremendous selection. I like Hobby Lobby better than that. I think. Someone said I think Mrs. Auntie Cuckoo said I have to check out Michael's. I think she put up a video, Auntie Cuckoo. I've got to go over there and check that out. It's on sale at Hobby Lobby. It's always on sale. You never buy when it's not on sale at Hobby Lobby because half the store goes in half and half and half and half and half. Yeah. You have the complete box set of the Twilight. Love her sweet. She's a diamond, and if you hit the support. Thanks, Michelle. Hey, Marilyn. Is also heavily featured in The Night of the Living Dead. Is she? Barbara. What, Leisha? About the Barbara? It's a Twilight Zone episode. There's a really cantankerous, you like the old uncle, and he lives with his niece, and his niece like it just grates on her because he calls her every night like Barbara. And every night she's like, oh my gosh. And then he finally passes away, but he's got something in the laboratory, and the executor of the will says that, she's going to get all this money, which she's thrilled about, and she's going to be able to leave this house and stuff, but she can't because he created a robot that has his exact voice and asks for a cup of hot tea, and it must be like scalding hot or he'll throw it on the floor. And yeah, it's just crazy. Oh, congratulations, Mrs. Lucier. He's graduating tomorrow? Wonderful. Congratulations. With Rod Serling, yeah. Do you remember the Auntie T one where they jumped in the pool and they ended up at Auntie T's, and then their parents were divorcing and they were like, do you remember that one? We used to always play that in the lake. We used to always jump down and be like, Auntie T, Auntie T. Yeah. I think we did it in pools too. Where did those silly children go? And then they're never supposed to get back there, but they did. They got back there, and then they didn't. Just don't listen. It'll go away. It'll get light. It'll get, more. What did they say? It'll get fainter and fainter and fainter. You won't hear it anymore. Sorting. I like sorting dishes instead of putting them away. It sounds nicer. I'm going to go sort the dishes. Remember? Oh, yeah, right. And they were all smoking in the hospital. That was nice, right? Oh, she still looks so horrible. The little boy. Yes, yes. Billy Mummy. That was, yeah. Think good thoughts. He'll send you to the cornfield. Think good thoughts. What's the reason for the wrench next to the names? David, it means that they can wrench out a troll. They can take the wrench and put it around a troll's neck and just twist. Having, well, Mrs. Lucier, he did good. I was just going to say, Aunt T was always baking a cake. Remember that chocolate cake everybody got to help frost? Oh, you came across that? Rear Window? Does anyone remember a Twilight Zone where reporters simulated time on death row and he thought it was real the very moment he thought he was going to die? Not the one with Burgess Meredith where he was obsolete and he locked that guy in the room. Is that what you're thinking of? When he locked, what was his name? The guy that played in the Holocaust miniseries. What was his name? With a double, very famous actor as well. The obsolete man? No. Okay, death row, I don't know. Best friend Danny told them, etc. Danny. Yeah, Burgess Meredith, but the other, it was his last name began with a W. Is it Khan? Not Oh, he played in the Holocaust miniseries with Meryl Streep. He was the father. James Woods was the son. You know who I'm talking about? Where's Lisa? She knows everything like this. I see a W for the last name. Weiss, Waits. Read above for your full comment. Do I understand? Okay. Let's see. Yes, I was in the ER for so long and I had smoke in the bathroom. My best friend Danny came and they basically shut up when I had broken ribs. I needed a smoke and they allowed it. Oh, okay. All right. We were talking about everybody was smoking in the Twilight Zone episode, all the nurses and the doctors at this station and everything. That's just so crazy. He studied English and law. Just wants to spread his wings for now. That's okay. Doesn't look right. Two Scooters said. They like the billy goat and they don't let the trolls cross the bridge. Well, he's young, Mrs. Lucier. My oldest son is on his way right now to the Dominican Republic for vacation, so I just talked to him before I went on. And my other one's like, yeah, well, just run the restaurant. So, exactly, years ago you could do what you want. Now we're locked in. Oh, is she there now, Danielle? Is she there right now? That's funny. That's funny. Which 90 Day Girls are from there? I don't know. I told him, I'm like, don't go. I'm like, if you try to meet someone that's, not there, so you don't have to worry about the 90. Try to find someone from the United States if you want to. Oh my goodness. Tell him not to buy any alcohol there. Why? Is that because of the poisoning or something? Well, they don't have to buy it. He's in one of those inclusive resort thingies. Hey, Dylan. Hey, Tina. Oh, I found those of you that watched my, oh my gosh, that watched my Dollar Tree haul and I didn't know where the round baskets were. They were right here. I found the round ones. Here they were. I knew I had them. And then what else did I have in here? Oh, I got these because I'm going to use Cricut labels on these. And then I got, these little jars too. I got to put the glitter in these and label those. But I found the baskets. Just to be safe, Alma. My son will be like, yeah, I'll remember that when I'm looking for a drink. Okay. No. Yeah, I found them. I was like freaking that I left them in the store or something. I'm not going with him. His best friend is. They have their own plans. This particular generation of youngsters are far more mature than the last. What is the Cricut? It's the die cutting machine that I have. I have some tutorials about it. Blue West. You're completely lost? Rambling on about a death row film I can't remember the name of. I'm still trying. I know Weiss this or something. Like, oh gosh, I know his name like crazy. Uh-oh. Hold on a minute. What happened? Wait a second. No, don't worry. It just I'm still here. Don't freak. I just have to the Zoom for some reason. I guess it said, "Hey, are you still here?" I wish it would do the Netflix thing. Like, are you still here before it just decides that I'm not there? Hang on. I'm here. I'm still here. Come on. Okay. It's coming. It's coming up. There we go. Here we go. Okay. Craft spec. Okay. You have a 25-year-old who'll never leave home? I don't know, Mrs. Lucier. I kind of think like my kids, I think they're all gonna, I don't know. It's not that they haven't left home, but I don't know. Like my youngest oldest one, I said, the youngest one's of the oldest crew. He always makes me laugh, but he's always fine. Talk to the other ones, but. And another 30 who wants to move back. Hey, choking on ashes. Jeanette, yeah, the blue screen. I want you to hit 2,000. Read update. You just sent it to me now? Okay. You sent it to the true crime? All right, let's see. She took the stand in her own defense. Hold on, it's giving me a, okay, hang on. Taking forever to load up here. Hang on. I think the internet must be like on its last legs tonight. Ezra McCandless is calmly answering questions about her relationship with ex-boyfriend Alex Woodworth, from how they met to their sex life. I just have to stop this thing here. The young woman accused of murdering her former lover spent the entire day on this witness stand Monday. Hold on a minute. Okay, let's see, get this thing off here. All right. All right, so it says, let's see, testifying on her own defense. Ezra described driving to a country road with her ex-boyfriend Alex Woodworth while talking about their breakup and then getting stuck in the mud. Ezra testified that Woodworth came on to her while holding a knife. When he began cutting her clothing and pricking her skin, she feared he would kill her. I'm afraid he's going to kill me because he has a knife. And I'm afraid he's going to take whatever he wants and he's going to finish this. Ezra said, I wonder if he was going to kill me and then he was going to kill himself so he wouldn't have to be alone. She testified that she kneed him in the groin, causing him to drop the knife, which he then picked up. And then she said he grabbed her. As Alex is grabbing me, I started stabbing him anywhere and everywhere. I don't know what was happening. I just needed to get away. I just needed to get out of the car. She testified. Finally, she addressed the self-mutilation that initially she blamed on Woodworth. Okay, everyone wants to know, why did you scratch boy into your arm? Asked the defense attorney. I thought about it, and when I think about this, I don't know. At that time, it's something that just happened. It was just a reaction. I don't know why I did this. On cross-examination, the prosecution focused on inconsistencies between McCandless's testimony and the versions of the story she told investigators after it happened. For example, she told police that she grabbed the knife away from Woodworth by the blade before using it against him. Now she testifies that he dropped it when she kneed him. As testimony ended Monday afternoon, prosecutors said they still have about an hour of cross-examination that will continue Tuesday morning. McCandless spent the morning calmly answering questions about her relationship with ex-boyfriend Alex, from how they met to their sex life. She also read portions of essays the two had written each other. Okay, so it says, let's see, these, I guess this is some questions. So the attorney says, did he continue to have these discussions with you about cannibalism beyond writing about them? And she said, all of the time, to consume that individual's power or to consume that individual so the person they loved would never leave them. He considered himself a reverend, someone who has returned from the dead with unfinished business. On her sexuality, he asked McCandless about Alex preferring her as a male, which she identified with during a period of time. She said, I told him about how I identified in the past as almost strictly masculine. He preferred that I presented myself in a masculine way. He often told me how confident I looked and how he was attracted to me because he could call me a boy, his boy, and present that way. Did you present yourself as a male to Alex? Yes, I did. The word became more possessive. I was his boy. It felt objectifying at times. I felt as if I was an object. I was Ezra McCandless, essentially, but that I was his boy. Oh, it sounds like is something going on? You can't get your cat out of the bath? Oh, I thought I heard someone like texting me, so I just wanted to jump back and see if there was something that was going on that was read. Okay, let's see. Where was I? Both prosecutors and her defense team acknowledged that the 22-year-old McCandless stabbed Woodworth 16 times in March of 2018, killing him. What is at issue is whether the act was murder or self-defense. During cross-examination, Visney asked McCandless about the knife, which she said belonged to her father because he often gave her knives for various situations, like to cut a seatbelt following a crash or for self-defense. How did you get that knife? And she said, that knife was a knife my dad had given me. He always liked to make sure I was prepared for every situation. Did you put it in your car the morning of March 22nd? No, it was in and out always. Did your father ever say anything to you about having a knife in the car, specifically for self-defense? She said yes. What did he tell you? What I recall my dad telling me is that he would tell me when you're in a situation with an individual or someone is attacking you, you need to do anything and everything you can to get away, to defend yourself. He would tell me you can use knives, you can kick and scratch, you can fight. During opening statements, McCandless's attorney, Erin Nelson, said she met up with Woodworth that day to talk for closure about how they broke up. They drove to a country road, and there, Nelson said, Woodworth forced himself on McCandless and began cutting her clothing off with a knife. Nelson said it turned into a struggle, and McCandless managed to get the knife from him. The prosecution says the case is entirely about something else. The case is about extreme anger and a twisted form of love, said Dunn County District Attorney Nodolf, who maintains McCandless was sexually involved with 3 men and killed Woodworth in a desperate attempt to recapture the relationship she wanted with another ex. Throughout the trial, you will see who the real defendant was. Okay, that's that. And done. And oh boy, 4:26. So it's almost time to say good night. Your cat just attacked your foot and scared you to death, Blue West. I hope that you're not bleeding all over the place. 16 times. How can that be defense? That's like Jodi Arias, right? 27 times or something. Shot him too, and then slit his throat. But still 1261. Okay, everybody, mustard, please. Pass the mustard. You have a dog that thinks it's a cat. It thinks it's a cat attacor? What does he do? A lot of jumping like a cat, or does he scratch? What does he do that it looks like a cat? Fritz Weaver. That's it, Fritz Weaver. I knew there was a W. See, I had the W, right? I had the W. I felt like I was one of those people. Like I can see. I don't know. Was it? I think it was a W. I'm seeing a W on the last name. You know any W? Fritz Weaver. There it is. I was trying to think of his name the last time we talked about this, and it didn't. Fritz Weaver, yeah. Fritz Weaver, Burgess Meredith. They had some good actors in those. Remember the one with the camera that took the picture like 3 seconds into the future? Remember that one? That was scary. It just hit your foot. Oh, okay, good. I'm glad there's not blood all over the place. Where did your sister visit? She went to Dublin, and then she actually had relatives on her husband's side. On her husband's side, that she went with her daughter, who's 26. Just my sister and her daughter. That's it. Her husband stayed home, but they were her husband's relatives, and my niece looked them up, and they lived on a farm somewhere out, and they went on this farm. I don't know where it was, but they were staying in Dublin. And then I know they went to some kind of a chocolate cafe, something she saw on Facebook that she had to go, this chocolate. I don't know if it was a cafe or something. And then she wasn't going to go to the Blarney Stone because she's claustrophobic, and she said that she would not survive that. And they had a bunch of stuff planned. We had more than that before Pitbull, yeah. So everybody's going to smash the likes, please, on the way out. Smash them on your way out the door. You have Ginger Tom and Mini Jack Russell, the cat bigger than the dog. Okay, but all right. So thank you to our wonderful mods. Thank you to all of you, this great community that we're so blessed to have. And smash the likes on your way out. And the last one, hit the lights. Okay. I'll talk to you guys tomorrow. Have a good night. And everybody, you carved it. Oh boy, wildlife, you better be careful. Hey, J Bells. Good night.